And welcome to Millersville, where tonight the Archbishop Spalding Cavaliers look to move to 5-0 at MIAA conference play as they take on the Dons of Loyola. Live from Millersville, Pete Medhurst and Nick Testoni with you here on a Friday night, senior night here for the Cavaliers, just honoring their seniors out on the field a few minutes ago. And as you can see, the cheerleaders holding up the sign there with all the senior cheerleaders' names on it, with some of the football players as well, as they get ready to come out through the tunnel to our left. And Nick, last week for Spalding, you know, each week they know the spotlight is on them right now in the MIAA conference. They get everybody's best shot. McDonough the latest to take that shot, and it was the Spalding defense last week that came through with a huge performance. Turnovers galore by that defense, including a Tyler Brown pick-6 interception for Spalding last week as well. And a team that seems to right now continue to have that focus that you need to win a championship.
Absolutely. I thought, they came out very strong offensively and then quieted down a little bit, but the other two facets of the game really came to help them. Special teams, they downed the punt on the 1-yard line that led to a turnover. They also had, like you said, pick-6. They actually had 2 of them last week. So when the offense kind of simmered down, both the special teams and the defense picked them up, which led to a great team victory for them a week ago.
And no doubt Spalding with one of the best high school kicking games you'll ever see in both the field goal PAT and the punt game as well, as you see the captains getting set to head out toward the middle of the field. Let's go ahead and take a look at the keys to the game coming up here tonight for the Cavaliers and the Dons. For Spalding, it's just like every game. Start fast and make the opposition play from behind.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, last week they came out, immediately got 2 touchdowns offensively, and it really put McDonough in a hole, made them drop back and throw, try to be a little more aggressive than they wanted to be, and it put them in a really good spot for the game. And,
of course, tonight it's stop the run, because Loyola is going to give them probably a steady dose of Kendrick Worthington, a tremendous-looking sophomore for Loyola. That's likely going to be the key to any offensive hopes that the Dons have. He's been pretty solid here of late, averaging just over 50 yards a game here for Loyola, and really getting a steady diet of the carries for the Dons.
Yeah, and he had a great week last week, over 100 yards and a touchdown, and he's very dangerous in the receiving game as well. He added 5 catches for 40 yards as well last week in their win over Gilman.
Yeah, back-to-back wins for Loyola coming in against Pilate and for Gilman as well. Let's take a look at the keys. Clearly for Loyola, just like every team that plays Spalding, the first thing you got to do, don't get mossed by Malik Washington and, of course, Max Moss, their outstanding wide receiver.
And I'll give McDonough credit. Overall, if you looked at the stat, only 2 catches, 33 yards for Moss last week, but the one was a big touchdown. So, once again, for Loyola, they're going to have to try to slow down Max Moss if they want a chance to win today.
And, of course, how do you do that? It's by holding on to the ball yourself and trying to keep that ball away from Spalding. And, again, Worthington likely to be the guy that plays a huge key in that for the Dons in here, because Spalding's offense can't beat you if they're not on the field.
Absolutely. I mean, this offense ranks the top nationally in a lot of statistics. They're averaging over 384 yards per game, and their point differential of 180. I mean, you just got to keep them off the field if you want a chance.
Yeah, and, of course, we saw, again, you look at a lot of these A-conference games, and I think, again, you look at Spalding's season. That first game against Don Bosco, of course, the national power out of New Jersey, was a wake-up call. And not that they lost to Don Bosco, because losing to Don Bosco is there's no shame in that. But it was the way they lost that game. And it was almost as if that Spalding team since then has had a completely, different focus playing week by week, because they've really done a great job handling their business. They came right back and played EMATEP, which is a national program, as well, won in dramatic fashion here on the catch by Max Moss. So, from that standpoint, they've really done a great job of handling their business after getting really blown out by Don Bosco in that first game. Coming up here from Millersville, we invite you to join us for the pregame prayer, followed by tonight's national anthem here from Whittles Field here in Millersville, as the Cavaliers get set to take on the Loyola Dons here on this Friday night. We're going to go 5-0 now in the MIAA A-conference standings.
Cavaliers enter tonight's matchup 5-0, while the Dons are 2-2. A reminder that sportsmanship is a pivotal part of any athletic contest. Respect the players, respect the fans, and respect the game. At this time, please stand and join us in prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this beautiful night and the opportunity to celebrate your awesome power and will through sport and fellowship. We gather as family, friend, and opponent to compete and bring out the best in one another. We pray in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. At this time, please remain standing as Spalding senior Christina Smith sings the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the lands of the free and the home of the brave?
Christina Smith with our national anthem here tonight from Archbishop Spalding High School. And always awkward when you're a broadcaster for the Washington Nationals and you hear them yell out the O in the stands here in Millersville. Of course, as we are in the shadows of the city of Baltimore, not far up north on I-97. The Orioles, of course, having that magical season this year. Brandon Hyde picking up the Sporting News American League Manager of the Year award just a few days ago, and former Oriole manager Buck Showalter picking up the National League honor for the Sporting News. So a lot of Baltimore Oriole influence on those managers of the year this year.
And I'm from right outside of Baltimore, so I'm glad you brought that up. It's very good to hear.
Nick, of course, the former Towson General. Spalding will kick off wearing the Wisconsin-like uniforms, the home red jerseys with the white stripes and, of course, the white helmet. And the AS intertwined on the sides of the helmet. Outstanding kicking game with Patrick Claiborne, who spends a good portion of the game kicking these balls into the end zone. We'll see if the same thing happens here tonight. Dons will get the first opportunity to control the football here in this contest this evening. Zeke Jackson back on the near side for the Cavaliers as we are underway here in Millersville. Ball to the far side, up to the 10, 15, outside the numbers 20. Near the 25-yard line, still on his feet. Finally, P.J. Pokness comes in to make the tackle for Archbishop Spalding on special teams on Ezra Carter, the wide receiver. With a good return, gets it back near the 28-yard line here for the Dons, where they'll take over. 1st and 10, moving here right to left.
And right out of the gate, the Cavaliers wanted them to return that ball. It was just a bit of a squib kick. They, like you said, could have been a touchback if he wanted to, but they wanted to make Loyola try to make a play on the first kickoff.
1st and 10 for the Dons. The ball spotted officially at the 29-yard line. Snap, fake to Worthington, and running along the right side with the handoff that time, Shane Elliott, number 23 on the carry.
Yeah, they're coming out quickly on just a read option to the right side, and Elliott did keep not a lot to go there. Good push by the defensive line early from the Cavaliers.
Gain of a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9 for the Dons. So they went a little wildcat there with Elliott, who comes out here to the near side, part of a 3-receiver set for the Dons. Worthington, the single setback. Play action, fake, throw out here to the near side. And again, it's Elliott. Spins out of a tackle. Gets across the 30-yard line, up near the 33-yard line. progress pretty close to the 34. It'll bring up 3rd down and 4 coming up here for the Dons. In fact, they'll put it back into 33, so it's going to be closer to 3rd down and 5. He broke out of the first tackle. Able to come in and get him was Gio Boone, the linebacker.
Boone, the leading tackler this season for the Cavaliers.
Gio Boone been in on a lot of stops for this team so far this year. That defensive front 7 has been fantastic. On 3rd down, the throw out here to the near side, caught up near the 40-yard line, and that'll be a 1st down for the Dons.
That's a nice timing play right there. Didn't know how much they were going to go down the field early. They were just going to try to quick passes out to the side, but they get aggressive there and go right for the sticks on that.
Nathaniel Jackson on the nice grab. More importantly, good job there by Jackson. He ran the route beyond the marker, and a good throw by Brad Cease, the quarterback, here to the outside for the 1st down. 1st and 10 for Loyola, just underway here in Millersville. 3 receivers to the right, single receiver short side of the field to the left. Cease, the quarterback, sets the feet, looks to lob it up down the right side, and it's going to be out of bounds. He's looking for Elliott over on the right side that time. Brings up 2nd down and 10.
There it is, the first big shot of the game Cease took, and it's no other than Shane Elliott. I would say get used to hearing Elliott and Worthington's name tonight. They have been the big-time players for the Dons on the offense this year.
Tyler Brown out due to illness tonight for Archbishop Spalding, which means Kari Wilson, the junior, that time involved in coverage. He's out there man-to-man on the far side here. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left here for Cease. So brings Elliott in motion left to right. Cease back to throw, rolls out to his right, plants the foot, sets and throws. It's incomplete, and there's a flag for pass interference coming up against Archbishop Spalding. Should come against Elijah Jones.
Yeah, you can take a look here. It's just pretty much a crossing route, and not the best thrown ball, but you can see he kind of grabbed the front side of the shoulder pad and got the turn. Easy call for the ref to make.
Yeah, anytime you turn that offensive player, that flag is going to come out. Good call by the officiating crew here tonight. That'll give possession to the Dons here after the walk-off now, which will send it up near midfield.
Good job by the Dons here early on. 2 first downs. And so far, they're keeping Max Moss, Malik Washington, Akeem Sims, that big offense off the field.
15-yard penalty for pass interference. Walked off to the Spalding 45 with 9:55 to go here in the first quarter. Second 1st down of the game already for Loyola. They go for a power formation here. Spalding jumps, and it'll be offside against the Cavaliers. So we're just already revisiting one of our keys to the game, Loyola, in terms of ball control. It's 2 first downs in a row. Now you get an offside penalty, which puts you in 1st and 5. And this is a dream start right now if you're the Dons.
Absolutely, and now they're thinking, now they're over the 50-yard line, try to get some points on this drive at the minimum.
Go over power formation right. They hand it to Worthington. Gets up near the 40-yard line, down to the 39. It'll be a gain of 1. It'll bring up 2nd down and 4 here.
Tackle by number 25.
It's a good job by the Cavaliers kind of stuffing that. Looks like Flowers was in there.
Bottom of the pile there for Archbishop Spalding. Keyshawn Flowers, Damian Wilburn, names you're going to hear us talk about an awful lot. Damian, of course, at that left defensive end, that 3-man front. Cease with a play action. He's going to roll out to his right. Wants to throw, hit as he throws, and it's going to be incomplete. P.J. Pokness applying the pressure. It'll bring up 3rd down and 4. P.J.'s sister, Lila, she walked out with him tonight on senior night. She plays field hockey for Crofton. They were in not only the JV championship game, but the varsity championship game the other night. JV won 2-1. The varsity lost a tough game to a really good Broadneck team by a count of 2-0. So Pokness family always been athletic. Their dad Jason, terrific. Their uncle George, good basketball player at Southern. 3rd down and 4. Cease looking left, throws underneath, has Elliott out in a flat, but he can't escape the tackle. Trent Gillis with a good open field tackle on a very short route. That ball was on the right hash mark. They throw it out here to the left. Very long developing play, but that's a terrific open field tackle by Trent Gillis.
Absolutely, and a good job standing there after the penalty. It's 1st and 5, and they don't give up a 1st down.
So 4th down now. Coming up here, 4th down and 3. Well, just inside the 38-yard line. So they need a good 3 full yards to get here to the 35-yard line. Loyola winners of 2 in a row, beat Pilate 28-27, Gilman 27-16. It's a team that's 3-4 record, very misleading. They lost to Georgetown Prep in overtime 22-21 and St. Mary's in overtime by a count of 36-30. Cavaliers call the timeout here defensively as they get set on this 4th down play. So you're talking about a Loyola team that 3-4 very easily could be 5-2. One more play in either one of those Georgetown Prep or St. Mary's games goes their way. And right now, the thing you like if you're Loyola, they're not playing in awe of Spalding here. They're very aggressive. They're letting Cease throw the ball all over the place. Really haven't tried to establish Worthington yet. We've only seen him for 1 carry so far here on this first drive with 8:33 to go and no score. The question is here, you need 3 yards. Cease probably going to the air in some capacity looking for Elliott.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if they go back to that play they did on 2nd down. It was just a play-action bootleg, and he had the guy underneath open. He decided to go longer, and I believe he was hit while he was thrown, so it was a bit of an underthrow. But he did have a guy out in the flat running open. I would see if they maybe get him moving to throw this football.
All right, 4th down and 3 coming up here. Worthington's going to line up in a slot to the right. Cease puts him, or in fact, it's going to be a different quarterback. Here comes the pressure. They throw it. It's incomplete. Pokness coming on the pressure that time as Loyola went with a different quarterback, went under center that time. And P.J. Pokness coming in from the left side, uncontested, makes the hit, and Loyola turns it over on downs. Marcus Hines was the quarterback on that play, the senior, but he really never had a chance as Pokness was in there before he could ever set his feet. So a big stop by the Spalding defense. Leads to offense now, 1st and 10 from their own 38. Washington throws underneath and a diving reception. Yes, it'll be a catch up at the 44-yard line by Ben Hayes.
From number 4, Malik Washington. Number 10, Ben
Quick throws coming right out the gate. We know this team likes to move fast, and already they're getting no huddle right back to set.
They'll spot the tip of the football on the 45, so it's a gain of 7, 2nd and 3. Screen out here to Hayes on the near side. Stumbles, but he does have the first down as he gets into Loyola territory. The turf monster gets him there as he gets it up to the 49-yard line on the gain of 6.
You know, his eyes were big. He had plenty of green in front of him. He was thinking about taking that as far as he could.
One of the nation's best high school wide receivers, Max Moss, with a tremendous block on that play. Here's the handoff to Sims running left side. And the Loyola defense stacking it up over there on that right side. Good penetration. Getting in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1. Umpire still holding the football.
Really nowhere for Hakeem Sims to go, and he was a bell cow last week. Got the ball 37 times, 37 carries for 188 yards.
It's a good play by A.J. Szymanski coming from this left defensive end spot, running that play down from behind. 6'5", 250-pound senior from that left defensive end spot where he lines up right now. A 4-man front for the Dons on 2nd down and 11. Washington is always out of the gun. 2 steps, throws it across the middle. Ball caught inside the 45-yard line. It's Kaufman, the tight end, makes the grab at the 43. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 4 for Spalding.
That was a tight throw and a great contested catch by Kaufman. They tried to go to him a lot last week up the seam, couldn't connect, so he had 0 catches with plenty of targets. He did, however, get in the end zone with a carry.
Jamison Kaufman, a big guy, get down to that goal line, hard to tackle. 3rd down and 4 coming up here for Spalding. Washington claps the hands, looks left, throws, has the completion, and run out of bounds on the far side. Good catch by R.J. Newton. It'll be a 1st down for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, defensive backs playing way too off, and all Newton has to do is go to the 1st down marker and sit and wait for the ball.
1st down and 10 for the Cavaliers now at the Loyola 34. Washington back to throw, loading it up. Going down the post route for Newton that time. It'll be incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
And there you can see it. That last play, they were afraid of Newton going by them, and he just sat down at the 1st down marker. This time he blows right by him, and early missed opportunity for the Cavaliers. He was wide open going to the end zone.
That's a ball that Washington will probably want to put a little more air under and let Newton run under it. On 2nd down and 10 from the 34. They'll screen it out to Sims left side, and he drops it. Washington threw it out in front of him there. Sims trying to one-hand it. Probably a catchable ball, but 3rd down and 10 coming up here now for the Cavaliers.
Let's see where they go here. Again, no targets to Max Moss early on, but when you get down on this side of the field, you know 8's a big number to look for.
He lines up in the slot to the right. Washington will take the snap, looking in that direction. Having a flush out here to the right side. He's loading it up, going long, looking for Hayes. It's incomplete. Oh, he had him behind the defense. Flag down on the far side, back at the 39-yard line.
Yeah, and Washington showed it last week. He has the ability to run and take it himself, but he also has the ability to get outside the pocket and make plays with his arm, and just missed on this play.
It'll be a holding call against the Cavaliers.
Holding against the Cavaliers.
So we'll see if Loyola takes the down. It'll be 4th and 10 if they decline it. Looks like they are going to decline it, make it 4th and 10. Washington, the sophomore, obviously oozing with talent. Both of those balls, though, as he continues to progress, those are balls that you want to throw with a little bit more air underneath of it, because both guys, Newton and Hayes, have gotten behind the defense.
Yeah, and that's something he'll learn. Really, there's no need to try to put that on a dime. You can just let them go make a play.
And now Loyola jumps, and that's going to give Spalding a free 5 yards as Szymanski jumps into the neutral zone. So a 5-yard walk-off makes 4th and 10, now 4th and 5 for the Cavaliers at the 29-yard line.
4th and 5.
So 6:12 to go here in the opening quarter.
It's a big mistake early on by the Dons defense. Chance to get off the field, 4th and long, and now it makes it a little more manageable for this offense.
2 receivers to the right, Newton over to the left. Kaufman lines up as a slot back to the right. Washington looking right, sets the feet, throws. He's got Kaufman on the out route, puts his head down. He's turned sideways at the 26-yard line. He'll be short of the first down.
Number 18, Jameson Kaufman.
Yeah, give credit there. They go underneath and try to let Kaufman go get it himself, but this was great tackling, and they put a hit on a big man in Kaufman to make sure he does not get that push.
And a great job coming up, number 14, Ezra Carter, to make that stop, 2 yards short of the first down. 6:05 to go here in the quarter. You know, Loyola already showing us they progressed into Spalding territory, and now this time they come up with a big defensive stop at the 26-yard line. So they go back on offense here, 1st and 10. And the handoff, it's a drop, but picked back up here by Elliott. Coming here to the near side. 3rd different player to handle the ball for Loyola from the quarterback spot.
23 for the Dons.
In fact, it was Worthington, the running back that time, who took the direct snap. So a lot of creativity here for Loyola, but when guys don't handle the ball in that fashion, sometimes you get a little problem on the mesh. They were able to get a couple of yards out of it with the friendly bounce. So,
I mean, yeah, it was like he was dribbling a basketball.
Right back
Came
up to
right
him.
back up to him.
2nd down and 8 now for the Dons at their own 28-yard line. No score, 5.5 to go here in the first quarter from Millersville. 2 receivers to the left. Cease back in at quarterback. Brings Elliott in motion. They'll swing it out to him on the right side. Gets outside the numbers at the 30 and steps through a tackle. Gets up to the 32-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6. It'll bring up 3rd down now for the Cavaliers. Elijah Jones coming up from the secondary to make the stop for Spalding. Corey Wilson.
The Dons have not gone to Worthington a lot. They have not run the ball. These short type of passes have been their runs early on, which is just getting it to Elliott on the outside in space.
Brings up 3rd down and 4 here. Dons huddle up. Cease comes into the huddle with the play now. Clock on the move, 4:46 to go. No score here. Ball just over the 32-yard line. They need the 36 for 1st down. 3 receivers out here to the left, to the wide side of the field, 2 to the right. Empty backfield for Cease. On 3rd down and 4, Worthington in motion behind the formation. Cease goes opposite, intercepted! And stepping out of bounds after intercepting the pass is Elijah Jones.
Oh, he read this like a book. It's an out route, and he ran it better than the receiver did. I don't know if Cease he was looking that way the entire time, and actually miscommunication because the Loyola wide receiver was cutting it into the field like a slant, and he thought it was an out.
Good job by Jones there. You're taught to read your keys in that situation. He read the quarterback all the way, and Cease threw it right to him. So the Cavaliers, after getting stopped on downs, have it 1st and 10 now at the Loyola 35. No score, 4:23 to go here in the opening quarter. It'll be a handoff to Sims, left side. Nakeem stepping through the hole, accelerating down inside the 30-yard line. Going to get down to the 27. It'll be a gain of 8. It'll bring up 2nd down and 2.
Boy, he is quick once he gets around the edge, isn't he?
No doubt. Plants that foot and cuts up field. Hakeem Sims, senior running back. Play action fake. Washington throws. Has his man down inside the 10-yard line. It'll be Kaufman on the catch. It'll be 1st and goal coming up for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, Newton's going to run the route down the field and clear out all of those defensive backs, and Kaufman just slips in wide open underneath.
Junior tight end already with a couple of catches after getting shut out last week. He'll line up in a slot to the left and come in motion now on the left side. 1st and goal from the 8. It's Sims, left side, down inside the 5, keeps the legs churning. He'll be tackled down at the 2-yard line.
5-yard gain by number 6.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to keep going with the run here, but one thing to look out for is they're on the far side of the field, and there is a lot of space one-on-one on the bottom with Moss.
And it's Sims. Gets down to the 1, but doesn't get in.
1-yard gain on the
Sims picking up the gain of 1. Good job on the defensive line there by Loyola getting penetration. Of course, with a number that we don't have. 77, not on the roster. 3rd down and goal. Handoff left side, Kaufman, and Kaufman blasts into the end zone. Touchdown, Cavaliers.
Back-to-back weeks, Kaufman, the tight end, getting the goal line carry, and he has delivered both times with a big touchdown to open the scoring here.
2:55 to go in the first, and after getting stopped on downs on the first drive, Cavaliers get in here on a 1-yard run by Jamison Kaufman.
We talked about the Dons. Ball control was the key to winning. They give it away, short field for the Cavaliers, and they capitalize.
Good job by Gavin Scruggs. Damian Wilburn leading the way that time to get the touchdown. Extra point on the way by Claiborne is up, and it is good. That's a great job on the hold by Onasisi that time. That snap was low, and he got it up and down in time for Claiborne, who's a tremendous weapon in the field goal PAT game. There you see Jamison Kaufman getting the rushing touchdown, and now getting ready to run down on special teams. I mean, Kaufman's a guy that just looks like the prototypical high school football player. Got the neck roll, big guy, willing to go down on any unit and play for you.
Absolutely, and you can say the same for Wilburn. Wilburn caught a touchdown pass last week, and now he's a leading blocker, also on that D-line.
Saw Gavin Scruggs run the football against Gilman earlier this year. Late in that ball game, Kyle Schmidt's club won 54-7. Had a chance to get a lot of guys into the game that night. Carter on the far side, back deep here for Loyola with Zeke Jackson. They'll kick it toward Carter, and it will go out of bounds.
Kick goes out of bounds.
So the kick out of bounds will give Loyola good field position here. Claiborne with a rare error in the kicking game. We said most of his kickoffs this season have gone through the end zone. Tonight we saw the first one squibbed, and that one goes out of bounds. You can see a little frustration on his face, holds himself to a high standard. And football for the Dons now. Going to be spotted at the 35-yard line.
See if they get Kendrick Worthington involved a little more on this 3rd possession.
He lines up to the left of Cease. Cease moves Carter over now to the right side of the field. Now Carter comes off the field. So that's a penalty.
Yeah.
That's a penalty. You can't do that.
Well, 12 men in the huddle, 12 men lined up. They're both going to be called the same thing.
So we'll get the call here from the referee. Illegal participation in the
Penalty
count.
against the Dons.
I don't know if I've ever seen that. He could have played it off like he was going in motion and then just slipped right off the field.
That's a great job by the officials, though. Each guy has a job, and one of those jobs is to count the players. So good job by the official and the mechanic that counts the players. 5-yard walk-off makes it 1st down and 15. 7-0 Cavaliers, 2:55 to go here first quarter. It'll be Cease out of the gun, 3 receivers to the left. Worthington, the single setback, play action fake to him. Good screen set up here on the outside, getting up near the 40-yard line up near the
Leads number
41.
23 for a gain of 9.
And it'll be a
Tackle
first,
number 2,
or
Trent
close to
Gillis.
a 16-yard gain, or excuse me, an 11-yard gain. It'll bring up second down and 4.
They continue with the quick throws out to the flat for Elliott. He is their leading receiver by yards per game this year and seems to be the focus of the offense so far.
There you can see that well set up screen there. They have the 3 receivers out here to the near side, so plenty of blockers already here to the wide side of the field. Second down and 4 coming up for Loyola. 2:15 to go here, first quarter, 7-0. Spalding on top. 3 receivers to the right. Cease takes the snap. Play action that side. He'll tuck it down and try and run, and then ducks down to avoid the contact. Makes a good business decision there. Multiple Cavaliers getting ready to close in on him, led by Braden Morocco. Morocco's a guy that's just had a tremendous season for Archbishop Spalding on the defensive side. Gio Boone, the linebacker, in though. Morocco, though, a guy that all year long, when you see a sack for Spalding, it's usually Morocco involved in that. Number 68 for the Cavaliers from that right defensive end spot.
Cavaliers took away all the options there, and it was a bit of a panic for Seiss. Didn't know what to do with it.
From the 39, it'll be third down and 6 here for Loyola. Near side of the field, Cease looking that way, pressure coming, steps out of a tackle, trying to run now, throws on the run, left side, got a man open. Breaks a tackle, gets inside the 40, down near the 35. Trent Gillis eventually makes the stop on the play. Kari Adams, the freshman, makes the stop or makes the big catch there for Loyola. Just made himself available. Good job by Cease here to get out of the pocket, find a wide open freshman receiver down inside the 35-yard line.
How about the playmaking ability there from Cease? That's an awkward throw going away from the ball, and he kind of contorted his body and got it up there. Guy was wide open, so all he had to do was put it there in his hands.
First down play, direct snap this time to Marcus Hines, the senior quarterback. Gets it down near the 31-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4. Pokeness on the stop for the Cavaliers. Second down and 6.
Now, nice little drive being put together by the Dons. They need a nice response here after the turnover.
Remember, they had the ball in Spalding territory, 4th and 3 earlier. Turn it over on downs. It'll be Hines again at quarterback. Takes it under center. Gives to Worthington up the middle. Got a hold. Drags tacklers inside the 25. Still going. Good job here by Kendrick Worthington. Down to the 21-yard line. That'll be a gain of 10 and a first down for Loyola.
There's a first taste of Worthington we've really got today. Only other time was a stacked up run on the left side earlier.
It'll be Worthington again. Started left, planted the foot coming right, and this time they have the answers.
Pokeness there, number 1.
Yeah, Pokeness and Wilburn that time getting in on the stop. Look at Wilburn just scrape down the line of scrimmage nicely to make that play as the first quarter of play ends here in Millersville. Loss of a yard, 2nd and 11 coming up for Loyola when we return. End of 1, it's Spalding 7 and Loyola nothing.
Hallmarks of a Spalding athlete. Are they able to compete at the highest level possible? Spalding is positioned very uniquely because they are in one of the best leagues in the state. When they're competing at a high level, that's big time.
It was always known as a great academic school, but we wanted to build a full-rounded school for student athletes. And we knew that they could get to where they're at today.
Since I've graduated from high school, I've watched the campus grow astronomically. Spalding, it laid a foundation for my understanding of teamwork, friendship, and things that were so much bigger than what happened on the basketball court.
They're challenging themselves academically and spiritually, and it transitions directly onto the field, where that consistency molds and shapes everybody that's involved.
The future of Spalding athletically is strong and vibrant, and I'm excited for our Cavs.
Welcome back. Second down and 11 for Loyola as we get set to start this second quarter. Cease back in at quarterback. Now we get a stoppage here. Head linesman on the far side. I think he wants them to move the football back to line it up with where the down marker is.
interested to see if the Dons get Worthington involved here. When they've given him the ball, it's been close formations with Marcus Hines in, and it's kind of an obvious run down, run scheme play.
Cease under center, play action pressure comes, throws outside, down inside the 20-yard line, down to the 19.
Pass complete for number 7.
Trent Gillis came flying in to stop all the momentum there on a big tackle.
Number 1, TJ.
Nathaniel Jackson, the tight end, open that time and able to turn it up the field. He'll gain 4. Third down and 7 now, coming up from the 19. Loyola again, second time tonight in Spalding territory. Now the Dons will call a timeout here with 11:30 to go. And if you're Loyola, you can't afford any mistakes. You're clearly in 4-down territory in a situation like this. Field goals aren't going to beat Spalding, you know that. Kicking game before the game. Owen Schilling also doing a great job in the kicking game. The sophomore looked like he could kick it probably 35, 40 yards if he had to. So you're on the fringe of certainly field goal range here, but 3 points probably not going to get it done. You've got 2 plays to get 7 yards here. So pretty much everything in play here for Loyola. Worthington and Elliott, clearly the 2 guys that they've been trying to feature most of the night here.
Yeah, I think the offense is just run a little smoother when they have Cease in a quarterback taking the snaps, and they're kind of spreading it out a little more. And when they go to those obvious run plays, the D line for the Cavaliers is just overpowering the Dons. They're not getting any push. So if they want to try to run the ball here, I would maybe suggest trying to spread it out a little bit, less bodies stacked in the box.
Cease will take the snap under center. Deep setback this time is Brooklyn Jones. Cease wants to throw. Throwing for the back corner of the end zone. And it's caught! Caught for the touchdown. Ezra Carter with a great job. Contact with the defender in the back of the end zone. And Carter makes the catch for the Loyola touchdown.
Well, Cease threw him a fly ball in a deep center field. This ball was up forever, and it was just letting Carter go make a play.
Wow, Carter basically just throws the DB, Kari Wilson, out of the way and makes the catch. That's a great look by our camera crew. I mean, Carter back behind him, just takes 2 hands, put him on Wilson, throws him out of the way, and makes the catch. High snap, ball down, kick is blocked. Good job coming in by Jaden Ships to block the extra point.
Touchdown from number 19, complete to number 14.
So Spalding with a 1-point lead here with 11:24 to go here in this second quarter. And a good job by Ships on special teams not to concede anything and blocks the extra point. But go back to the touchdown. There you see Carter, number 14, top of the screen right there. That's just a tremendous play. Wins the battle. It's a one-on-one battle out there. And look, put your hands on the guy, throw him out of the way, and if they don't throw a flag, go make the contested catch. And Carter did a great job that time to haul it in. Cease also threw the ball far enough, too. I mean, as you said, that ball was in the air for a long, long time, and Carter probably 4 inches taller than the DB.
Yeah, he gave him a lot of time to go get it, put it right in the back of the end zone. Perfectly placed football.
Kickoff taken from the 11. Igwebe, the freshman, breaks out of a tackle, trying to come back to the near side. Turns it upfield outside the numbers at the 30. Stiff arms a guy, gets outside to 35. That's going to be a blindside block coming up here on Spalding, though. As you see it coming across, as he breaks out of the tackle. And now right here,
Boone laid him out.
It's not a clip. It's a blindside block because he doesn't hit him in the back, but that defender has to have the opportunity to see the guy in his field of vision as he turns, and he just didn't. It's a good call by the official and a great shot by our camera crew to give you a look at it.
Even with the bad block right there, you could see the explosiveness in the return game. Last week, McDonough did not kick the football off to the return of the Cavaliers at all. They kicked it short every single time.
Yeah, great job by the freshman Igwebe that time to break out of an initial tackle. But again, you may not like the call, but it's the right call by the officiating crew. It's one of those safety issues that we've put in the game so guys don't get blindsided and get hurt. 1st and 10 for the Cavaliers from their own 10-yard line. 7-6 Spalding with 11-12 to go here in the second quarter. Washington looking to throw. Slings it out to Moss. Max outside the numbers, outside of the 20 and thrown down. He'll have the first down beyond the marker up to the 22-yard line. It'll be a gain of 12 and a first down.
Well, it's going to be a long day if he starts getting involved. There's his first catch, and you can see he won't even go down. He goes right through the defender with a stiff arm and gets a first down.
Carter eventually running him out of bounds there, but again, giving a lot of cushion to each of those wide receivers. Washington keeps it on the play action fake. Slings it out to Moss outside the numbers here on the left side. Up the sideline, finally pushed out of bounds. But he will be spotted out of bounds at the 43-yard line. Washington play action and then going sideways and finally throwing out to Moss. Little playground football from the Cavaliers there. Maurice G finally running him out of bounds for Loyola. First and 10, Archbishop Spalding at its own 43.
Very unique RPO right there. Had the option to give it to him, and then it looked like he would take it, and then he just flipped it out to Moss.
Anytime you can get it to 8, that's a good decision. 3 receivers to the right. He throws here to the near side for Newton. RJ makes the catch, spins it midfield into Loyola territory to the 49-yard line.
Boy, Newton is so good at making it look like he's about to take a next step and go right down the field, and then he just plants and sits down for an easy completion.
Andrew Duvall on the tackle for the Dons. Nice piece of sportsmanship. Dapping him up after the tackle. Handoff Sims. Hakeem jumps through the hole. There he goes. Hakeem Sims. He's at the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Cavaliers. Officially a 49-yard run for Hakeem Sims.
Well, you want to see a special move. As soon as he gets the ball, he makes one jump cut, and then he hits the hole, and he's gone. This guy ran for 188 yards last week, didn't get a touchdown. Well, he's got one this week.
And as soon as he gets into the open field, it is usually over with Hakeem Sims as the senior sprints to the red-painted end zone for a touchdown for the Cavaliers. And you're right. It was the jump cut that he made in the hole that got the job done.
And here's that Cavaliers high-powered offense. How long was that drive? And they've already scored a touchdown.
As whistle sounds as we go to kick the extra point. Cooper Welch, punter, looking to kick here. Maybe Claiborne had hurt himself. We could tell that those kickoffs were not what we usually see from Patrick Claiborne. The team itself has been dealing with a sickness that had run through the team. And actually, a lot of the school, in fact, a lot of schools, my daughter's school, right after their homecoming dance that next week, they were down about 25% in the school population of people with the flu. So now Welch will back up and try this from the 15. And CC to hold. Good snap, ball down. Kick is on the way, and it hits the upright. Oh,
it's direct contact. I don't think you could have hit it harder.
Could hear the doink from here. So the Cavaliers answer the Loyola touchdown. Look, we got a good one going here with 10-11 to go in the second quarter. We've seen Spalding play from ahead and play from way ahead in a lot of these games. And it's always good to play, like the Ematep game, good to play a game where you got to play all the way to the final possession of the game. And as they've gotten into their MIAA schedule, there hasn't been much of a challenge, quite frankly, in many of these games. And Loyola right now, as we said, it's a team that at 3-4, that record is deceiving. They've won their last 2. They lost double overtime to Georgetown Prep, lost an overtime to St. Mary's. So it's a team that certainly well prepared and has come here tonight playing with some conviction in this game. Claiborne ready to kick off from the near side. Carter and Jackson back deep for Loyola. And that one is going to spiral to the left and out of bounds again.
That just looked like a miss hit. That thing was headed left from the kick.
That looked like some of my golf shots on the golf course. Way left, off the tee. Claiborne comes over here to the near side, tosses the tee, heads to the bench. You see the reaction too. It's one of the reasons why this Spalding program has been able to get to where it's gotten is the standard they've set for themselves under Kyle Schmidt's tutelage here. I mean, there is an expectation of how to play the game, and when they don't meet that standard, there's a disappointment for that. And it's a team-wide thing. I mean, they hold each other accountable for it. So 13-6 now. Cavaliers on top. We've got 10-11 to go. It'll be a play-action fake, and Hines will be taken down.
Yeah, it's a read option right there. And it was a bad snap, or at least a mishandled snap, and that delay blew up everything.
Hines faked it to Jones, and Gio Boone leading the way in the backfield for the Cavaliers. That time it'll be a loss of 4. We'll call it, 4. It's on the 31-yard line, so it'll bring up second down and 14 here for Loyola. What's interesting is Loyola consistently, we've seen 3 different guys take that snap back there offensively right now for them. And now it looks like Cease is back in the game, and he'll split the 2 running backs this time. Brooklyn Jones and Nathaniel Jackson. Jones in motion out to the near side of the field. Cease wanted to throw it there, but the pressure gets there in time for Spalding. Great job of the inside pressure.
Yeah, I mean, 3 guys win the battle.
Yep.
Both guys off the edge and then up the middle, and Cease didn't have a chance.
Ty McVicker, the nose guard that time, getting the initial penetration up the middle. Coming from the outside, Damian Wilburn. So it'll bring up a 3rd and long now. And these are the situations that Loyola had to avoid in this football game. Ball's all the way back to the 23-yard line.
They've only attempted about 2 or 3 deep shots so far, and they connected on 1, which is kind of a broken play.
Cease lobbing it down the far side again, and that one too far, intended for Elliott down that far side of the field on 3rd down and 22.
Coverage on the play by number 20, Kari Wilson.
But for Spalding, again, playing without Tyler Brown, who you would see back there helping out in that secondary. That time, good coverage on the 3rd and long play by Kari Wilson. Getting a lot of activity here tonight as a result of that Brown injury. Punt time here for Loyola. Austin DeLay ready to punt. Long count. They finally get the snap away. Kick is in the air. That's a good kick by DeLay. Fair catch called for and made by Aguibe.
Cavaliers are coming there.
Yeah, that's a heck of a kick by DeLay all the way back to 34-yard line where Aguibe, the freshman, made the fair catch, and a good decision to fair catch that one for the Cavaliers.
Just a week ago, they did block a punt, so I think they had the same mindset there. It was a bit of a low snap, but great punt, even under that pressure.
43-yard punt, no return. 1st and 10 now for the Cavaliers. Leading at 13-6 with 8:24 to go here in the second quarter. Washington moves Kaufman, the tight end, now to the left. Claps the hands, takes the snap, hands to Hakeem Sims. Big hole left side, 40. He's at midfield, 1 man to beat, and he'll finally get run out of bounds. Again, you see the explosiveness of Hakeem Sims as soon as he turns that corner. Maurice G saving a touchdown for Loyola.
Yeah, we talk about Max Moss and how dangerous he is catching the football. He did a great job of sealing the outside with a block there that led to that gigantic hole.
Second time tonight we've seen Max Moss with a tremendous block. Washington, play action fake, slings it out to Moss on the right side. Max turns it upfield, breaks out of a tackle. Moss down the sideline. The sprint is on. Max Moss, touchdown. Archbishop Spalding, 40 yards for the touchdown.
That is just something special to watch, some chemistry. You know, you have Washington going out, and there is a defender in the flat guarding it. He goes sidearm, gets it to Moss, and then Moss just makes one guy miss. The other guy trips over the guy he may miss, and then it's home free.
That's a great job by Ben Hayes out there on the perimeter. The temptation is, as that guy is closing in on Moss out there on the perimeter, the temptation is to try and go block that guy. If he touches him, he's going to hit him in the back, and he let up and never touched him and allowed Moss to do the rest. Spalding is a personnel issue here. They're trying to go for 2. They're going to reset the play clock here. You can see the referee with the motion palm to the sky, trying to get the back judge to reset the play clock. Spalding will line up now with 2 receivers to the right. Newton far right, Moss in a slot to the right. Pokeness lined up here to the near side left. Washington, behind the back pass to Kaufman. Jamison powers his way into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. And now a flag is down, thrown by the official on the far side of the field.
Well, this is something. This is just a pulling tight end. They go behind the back. They're just having fun out there at this point.
Watch Malik right there behind the back to Kaufman, coming inside. See what the call is from the official. Try is good. Unsportsmanlike conduct after the play. But he didn't point in a direction. Maybe it was both teams.
Back to that play real quick. That's just a take on, I think Kansas City Chiefs made that pretty famous with Kelsey, where they pull that tight end and it's just a shovel pass inside. Well, they just made something completely different where he goes behind the back.
Yeah, look, that's a sophomore quarterback who's got all the skills in the world that you have great poise with, great trust in a play like that. And Spalding gets the 2-point conversion to extend the lead to 21-6. Penalty is against the Cavaliers because the walk-off is back to the 25. That's where they will kick off from. And it will be Cooper Welch this time to try and kick off in relief of Claiborne here. Gets a good foot into it down the left side. Carter makes a catch running back to the 17. Up the middle of the field. Carter looking for an alleyway, trying to come out here to the right side. He's up to the 40. Spins inside, keeps going. Lost the football, though. He lost the football. Beanbag is down. That means fumble. And we'll see who recovers here. It looks like it'll be Loyola. And they do. Carter was in the process of a big return. He'd already gotten it back 23 yards. Derek Cease on the recovery, the brother of the quarterback. Yeah, ball came right out and flew right into his hands. So pretty fortuitous bounce. You can see Carter a little frustrated as he got the ball knocked out. It was a good return by Carter. As we're getting it back to the 45-yard line for the Dons now, who all of a sudden have to answer down 21-6, but good field position here at their own 45. 3 receivers to the left. And Cease ready to take the snap out of the shotgun. They set up the screen here to the near side. And a good read, great open field tackle. My goodness, P.J. Pokness with a terrific play.
That's a huge play right there. So they finally get Worthington involved in the passing game. And if he gets by this one guy, he's got plenty of space to go.
Pokness putting the pressure on Trent Gillis with a great open field tackle to keep any damage out of that. It's a gain of 2. Looked like it could have gone for a lot more. 2nd down and 8 coming up here for the Dons as they look to the sideline trying to get the formation set here. 2nd down and 8 from the 47. 7:15 to go second quarter. 21-6 Spalding on top. Cease out of the gun. 3 receivers to the left, single receiver to the near side. Looking left, looking to screen it out again for Elliott. And Cease just too much mustard on that. I mean, he threw it way over his head. Bring up 3rd down and 8. I mean, watch where this ball goes. I mean, you got Elliott out there one-on-one versus Gillis, but you got to give Elliott a chance. Cease just too keyed up. I mean, he fired a rocket out there to the left side.
And he could have taken his time there. No one really around. Again, trying to get Elliott involved in the outside.
Brad Cease, the sophomore quarterback. Pair of sophomores, so these two are going to compete against each other for the next couple of seasons here in the MIAA. 3-man front for the Cavaliers. 3 receivers left, single receiver right to the near side of the field. 7:02 to go, second quarter, 3rd and 8. Cease throws, and it's knocked down. He was looking inside. The linebacker, Gio Boone, with a great drop in the passing lane there to prevent the pass to Carter. We talk about secondaries, but the keys to any good pass defense, the depth that time by Gio Boone, the linebacker, dropping in there makes a tremendous defensive play.
Yeah, you saw he had no one to cover up front. There was no running back slipping in front of him, so he just dropped a little back further than he probably usually does and almost got an interception for his good play.
Igwebe standing at his 24. DeLay had a 43-yarder his last time. Good snap. Pressure comes. DeLay gets the kick away. End over end. Igwebe lets it hit. It's going to take a huge Loyola bounce. And it's going to go inside the 10 and scooped up there on special teams by Loyola. Getting down on special teams that time, 34. Bear Jorgensen, senior, on specials for Loyola. After Dulay's 43-yarder, Igwebe has to respect that, so he backs up a little more. This time he hits more of a knuckleballer. Not sure that Igwebe could have got up there to make the catch in the air. And it takes a big bounce for the Dons, and Barry Spalding inside their 10-yard line here at the 8.
Last 2 times on offense, they've had huge plays for touchdowns.
Sims, the single setback, gets the handoff. Plows through the middle there. Following Pokmus up to the 10-yard line. Be a gain of 2 to bring up 2nd down and 8. Szymanski coming down the line that time to get in on a stop from his left defensive end spot. Good job scraping down the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 8. Washington out of the gun. Kaufman lined up in a slot. Sims, single set back to the left of Washington. Malik nodding his head to Moss on the right side. Washington throws it out here to Newton, juggled and dropped. That ball may have been tipped by a defensive lineman en route, because that ball came almost like a helicopter out here to Newton here on the near side.
It looked like someone on the D-line for the Dons did get a hand up there.
Bring up 3rd down and 8 now for Spalding from their own 10. 4-man front here for Loyola.
Let's see where they go here. They could go with Newton where he sits down around the 1st down mark, or they get to someone in space.
Looked like Trevor Szymanski, the other Szymanski brother at the other end. Here's a slant route. Moss to the 20. Carrying a tackler with him across the 25, up near the 28-yard line. Max Moss on the gain of 18, and the strength, the yak right here, Nick, for a big gain.
Yeah, just a quick slant, and linebackers late to get over. It's perfect timing. These two are in sync, as we saw on the last drive with the touchdown pass, and they continue it.
1st down, the handoff, Sims left side, bursting through the hole, gets outside the numbers at the 40, knocked out of bounds there, but another big gain for Hakeem Sims. He'll get out to the 43-yard line. It'll be a gain of 15 and another 1st down as Sims already knocking on the door of 100 yards in the first half.
Yeah, the Dons are learning pretty quickly. If you do not get Moss or Sims down on the first attempt, it is trouble.
Both guys tremendous after the catch. Washington has pressure coming. Steps out of a tackle. Rolls out to his right. Throws it, and it's going to be incomplete. Had Hayes over there, so had a receiver on the far side. Looked like Kaufman may have broken open here on the near side, but Washington had the pressure coming from Szymanski on the outside, and he couldn't throw it. Eventually had to throw it away, 2nd down and 10. Good catch by one of the offensive linemen over there for Loyola on the bench. You ready to tell coach, put me in a tight end. Little trick play down on the goal line. Good hands.
It's a fantastic job by Washington just to get out of that sack. Made a move to get rid of the football.
2nd down and 10. Washington looking left, throws. Good catch. He threw it, and a good grab by Kaufman. Ball was behind him a little bit, but Jamison makes the catch at the 46-yard line for the 1st down.
Yeah, I don't know if he threw that just late behind, or he just kind of led him into a softer part of the zone because defenders were closing in, leading in. Good job by Kaufman to adjust.
From the left hash mark. 1st down and 10, Spalding at the Loyola 46. 21-6 Cavaliers, 5:09 to go. Here's Newton on the outside. RJ cuts it back inside the number. Shrugs off one tackle. Gets smashed by Szymanski coming down the field. But Newton gets the ball down inside the 40. Down to the 38-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd down and 2 on the gain of 8.
Yeah, it's always tough when you get tackled by a D-end about 15 yards down the field.
Who you don't even see coming.
Yeah.
That's the thing. 2nd down and 2 coming up here. Kaufman, the tight end, will move over to the right. Bonacici's in here at the left side for Newton, who had to come out. The helmet came off. 2 receivers to the right. Washington claps the hands, takes the snap. Hands to Sims. Hakeem running right. Trying to get outside. And good play on the perimeter that time by the Dons. Keeping contained, but more importantly, making the tackle afterwards, Zach Phillips.
Number 8 for the Dons.
So to bring up 3rd down and 2 is that time, first time tonight, Max Moss got beat on a block. Zach Phillips got away from him. And now we get a timeout called on the far side by Loyola.
Yeah, that's the play they need to make, right? Because every time they've missed that first tackle and someone like Moss or Sims gets into the second level, that's when the big explosive plays come. Great job by Phillips to make an open field tackle.
One thing we've talked about, we talked about it before the game, but there's a real simplicity to what Spalding does. This is not really complex offense by any stretch of the imagination, but what it is tremendous execution by the Cavaliers. And when you have the type of skill people they have, it makes it easier to keep it simple. But you talk about it, Sims, just so much explosion at the running back spot. All of the wide receivers, the tight end Kaufman can catch the ball. And when you have a sophomore quarterback that is as skilled as Malik Washington is directing this whole thing, you can keep it simple. It doesn't seem very high risk, and that's how you can play very efficient offensive football. Low risk, but you get high reward because of the skill people you have.
Absolutely, and all these skill guys know their role. I mean, I would just shout out R.J. Newton, who every time he needs to make a catch about 8 yards down the field, he does it. And other times he's running a go route to clear out space for someone like Kaufman, the tight end.
Newton will line up as the single receiver here to the wide side of the field. Power formation to the right. It'll be play action. Washington on the keeper himself. Malik down inside the 35 to the 34-yard line, and he'll have the first down.
Read option. First time we've really seen him take it himself tonight, although he's been out of the pocket a lot. That was, again, the same play earlier. We had the option to pass it as well on the run to the near side.
Andrew Duvall on the stop that time for the Dons. 1st and 10, Cavaliers at the Loyola 34. 3:46 to go in the quarter, 21-6 Spalding. Washington back to throw. Moss had it knocked away, and I think it was intercepted off the deflection.
That is an unbelievable interception. It kind of fell to the defender.
Great job by Zach Phillips that time to catch it off the deflection. Looked like Moss was going to go up and make a circus catch high in the air. That ball was high, but off the deflection, Phillips does a great job. The initial deflection contesting it was Zeke Jackson for Loyola. And the deflection and a great play by Phillips to haul it in to thwart the Spalding scoring attempt there at the 13-yard line.
A gigantic play for the Dons here, who this looked like another touchdown drive that was being mounted by the Cavaliers. Now they get a takeaway, and with 3.5 left, they got to try to at least hold the football for the rest of the half.
Under center. They'll flip it back on a reverse. Left side, big hole. Up across the 25 near the 30-yard line.
The flag fly in, I think, on that far sideline.
Flag on the play.
Good job there on the run, barreling up the field. Maurice G that time. It'll be a hold against Loyola.
We'll take away that. It was a nice, quick burst around the side, which we haven't seen Loyola really get a lot tonight. But all for naught with the holding call.
Especially in that field position, teams tend to be a tad bit conservative. That time they went for the reverse when G got the big gain, but unfortunately the hold is going to bring it back. It's from the spot foul, so the walk-off is from the spot, so they're still going to get some positive yardage out of this. They're spotted on the 18, so it ends up being, in a sense, a gain of 5 yards on the play, but they would have had the first down out across the 30. Clock on the move now with 3:23 to go here in the second quarter. 1st and 5 coming up now for the Dons. Cease this time will take it out of the gun. Takes the snap. Pressure coming from Poknes. They set up the screen to Worthington. Runs through the Gio Boone tackle. Up the field across the 20. Out to the 30. Up near the 34-yard line. And it'll be a first down for the Dons. That time you talked about it, nicking our keys to the game with Worthington. That time they put him on display as a pass receiver, and he came through very nicely. Ran through this Boone tackle and got the first down.
Yeah, Boone did everything right except bring him down. He read it perfectly, slipped in behind the lead blockers, but just could not bring down Worthington, a tough guy to tackle.
Jaden Ships on the stop, preventing an even bigger gain for the very talented Worthington, who stands to the left of Cease here. 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line. Cease looking left, throws high, incomplete. Through the hands of Carter. We've seen Cease deliver high multiple times on his misses in this game. 2nd down and 10. 2:31 to go here now in the second quarter.
We really haven't seen the Dons attack the middle of the field that much. There was almost an interception last possession from, I believe it was Boone, who dropped back in coverage. But for the most part, everything they do attacking-wise is from the outside.
A little confusion in the formation now. Christian Ronaldo runs out here to the right after initially going left. Hines in at quarterback. They hand it up the middle. Brooklyn Jones on the carry. We get it out to the 39-yard line, be a gain of 5. It'll bring up 3rd down and 5 now for Loyola. Dons with 1 timeout remaining and 2:15 to go here in the second.
You would think, obviously they want to score here, but at the minimum, get 1 more first down and try to not give the ball back to Malik Washington, the Cavaliers' offense.
3rd down and 5. Hines gives it. And Jones walloped on the far side. Spalding will call a timeout to stop the clock. Watch Gio Boone shed the block and get up there with Elijah Jones.
5, Gio Boone. 4th down.
Just a great job. Linebackers, the
Timeout.
linebacker's going to have guys at his feet. He's going to have people in his way. And it's how you shed that block. And it was a great job by Gio Boone and Elijah Jones coming up from the secondary behind him to get on that play. And with 1:50 to go, Spalding will have 1 timeout remaining now. Each team with 1, with 1:50 remaining here to try and get something on the board 1 more time before we reach halftime. Here on senior night here in Millersville, the Cavaliers leading it by a count of 21-6. And the ironic thing is, when you look at their roster, there's a lot of underclassmen that are still coming back, with this group. Obviously, Max Moss, very talented senior. He's getting recruited by a number of Division I programs. But a lot of youth that's going to be coming back in the Spalding program for years to come. And that's the great thing about MIAA football. Every one of these programs has something to offer. Great academic component, certainly good football component. Cease will stay on. They're going to go for it here. 4th down and 5. I think they're going to try and draw Spalding offside. Now they're going to drop back into a punt. Gets it away. Nice catch over the shoulder, but then getting knocked down on special teams. Good job there by Jaden Ships to make that catch going backwards. They had to acknowledge the formation. And once you saw the hard count a couple times and Spalding not jump, Loyola drops back to punt. That's a good job by Ships because he saves a lot of hidden yardage there by not allowing that ball to hit the ground.
Yeah, I was very interested to see where they were going with that, and then they go to the punt. But, if they don't convert there, if they would have tried to go for that, then you give them a short field with plenty of time. So probably the right call there from the Dons. Good
discipline by the Spalding defense not to jump. 1st and 10 at its own 24 with 1:38 to go and 1 timeout. Washington, short drop, throws outside right. Got the completion to Hayes right near the marker. He'll have the first down up at the 35-yard line on the gain of 11.
Yeah, 1:32 is an eternity for this offense. They move quick. So time is not a factor for the Cavaliers right now.
It's a great throw by Washington, too, outside the numbers. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. Washington again outside the numbers, and again it's Hayes underneath. He'll make the catch up to the 43-yard line. We'll give him the 44. I'll give him that. Yeah, that's 44. 2nd down and 1 coming up for Spalding. 1:25 to go. More importantly, Hayes got out of bounds again. Washington out of the gun. Takes the snap. Back to throw again. Over to the far side. That ball's caught inbounds by Hayes. That time he had to go down to his knees. Into Loyola territory at the 46-yard line. In fact, the umpire's going to put the tip of the ball on the 45. So it'll be a 1st and 10 for Spalding at the Loyola 45. Washington loading it up, and a diving attempt. Incomplete. He was looking for Hayes again.
Yeah, they go for a bit of a deeper shot here. Bit of a wobbly spiral. But good defense, good coverage right there from the Dons.
Zeke Jackson on the coverage that time for Loyola. Brings up 2nd and 10. Just 1:03 still remaining. So they've done a great job to move the ball into Loyola territory. It started with 1:38. Washington stands at midfield out of the shotgun. Sims, the running back, to the left. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. Washington looking left. Throws, and it's incomplete. Moss was well covered on the play anyway by Hines. It'll bring up 3rd down and 10.
Good job by the Dons on these last couple plays, and now you put them at 3rd and 10. Still have one timeout, and with 56 seconds left, I could see them probably maybe going to Sims right here on a draw, try to catch him off guard. They can still run the football here.
3rd down and 10 for Spalding, leading 21-6. 56 seconds remaining with a timeout. Play action fake. Washington loading up, going down the right side for Moss, and it's incomplete. Phillips on the coverage again. Just had the interception for Loyola off the deflection. Ooh, that ball right off the chest of Max Moss.
Yeah, Phillips really didn't make contact with the football. Maybe that last throw up of his left arm impeded the vision of Moss and threw it off just a bit because that ball hit him right in the number.
Cooper Welch ready to punt. Fair catch made at the 14-yard line by Elliott.
If you're the Dons, you think you just sit on this and go to halftime?
Absolutely. You only got one timeout remaining. You're still in the game.
They showed they could move the football
Take over from
this
the
half.
15.
And a bit of a similar score to last week against McDonough, but McDonough did not get over midfield until the very last possession of the first half. So the Dons have shown they can move the football. They need to go back and see what worked and what didn't. But they have done a good job hanging in this game. On the other side, I mean, the Cavaliers just highlight plays.
Got to believe in the second half, Loyola's going to try and get Worthington more involved. He stands to the left of Cease here. 1st and 10. Cease looking to throw. He'll screen it out to Worthington. Up to the 15, knocked out of bounds near the 20-yard line. Elijah Jones up there to make the stop. He'll get up to the 21-yard line, gain of 6. It'll bring up 2nd down and 4.
Gain of 6, knocked out of bounds by number 25, Elijah Jones.
Clock stops as he goes out of bounds with 37 seconds remaining. Cease directing traffic. Worthington will line up to the right this time. You see Kendrick Worthington and an outstanding sophomore running back. Guy looks like he's got some big-time ability. Cease looking to the near. Pumps, ball deflected. Good pressure that time far side by Damian Wilburn to get that arm into the passing lane.
Number 15, Damian
It was almost like they were trying to get a little pump and go, but it wasn't much of a fake there by Cease. He just kind of shrugged the shoulder a little bit.
By the time he wanted to go back to it, it was already gone.
Here's the thing, though. Stops the clock with the incomplete pass with 31 seconds. You're deep in your territory here. If you don't get this first down or you throw an incomplete pass, not impossible. Spalding gets reasonable field position to try one more time with a timeout still remaining. Dons will send 3 receivers to the right. I'd stick this in Worthington's belly on a draw play. 3rd down, ball just over the 20-yard line. Cease takes the snap. He's going to throw. Looks across the middle. Got it. Elliott, 35, trying to get outside the numbers at the 40 and finally run out of bounds by Elijah Jones. You talked about it. Hadn't really tried to find that cavity in the middle of the field. It's a good ball by Cease that time to Elliott for the first down.
And you can see, I think they probably thought a run was coming too. All 3 of the Cavaliers linebackers were just lined up, and all Elliott had to do was slip behind them.
Now out to the 44-yard line with 24 seconds to go. Dons have a timeout if they need it. Good job by Elliott. Caught that in the middle of the field and was able to get out of bounds. From the 44, Cease looking at the sideline, signaling the play. We're going to move the formation around. It's taking a long time here. Keep an eye on the back judge who's got the play clock. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Cease takes the snap knee high, throws left. They screen it out to the far side, tackled inbounds, and Loyola will call the timeout.
25,
So much
Jones.
for just taking and going to halftime, huh?
Well, you get that first down, it makes it a lot easier to make that decision. But now with no timeouts remaining, you almost have to work exclusively outside of the field with 16 seconds remaining. As we said, I mean, not impossible they could attempt a field goal if they get inside 40 yards. I mean, we were watching Owen Shine before the game, and the ball was getting there from 40. So if they can get inside the 30 somehow and give him a chance, I mean, not impossible they'd have an opportunity here, but they still got 35-plus yards to navigate at minimum here to give Shine a reasonable opportunity for a kick coming up here.
They're going to need to hit on something big that gets them out of bounds, because a lot of their offense today has just been slowly moving down the field with short passes to the outside, runs off the edge. And if they get tackled now, I mean, they probably only have about 1 to 2 more plays.
Especially with no timeouts remaining here. 16 seconds left in this second quarter. 21-6, Cavaliers on top. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Worthington to the right of Cease. Cease will take the snap. Looking left, throws outside the numbers, caught. Great delivery by Cease outside the numbers as he finds Kari Adams on the catch for the first down at the Spalding 45 on the gain of 13.
Cavaliers playing extremely back. They cover 3 right there, pretty much 3 deep safeties, and that allowed the out route right at the first down marker.
Play only took 4 seconds to navigate. Cease getting the play from the sideline. He brings it into the huddle now. Clock stopped. As Adams able to get out of bounds. 12 seconds remaining. Ball at the Spalding 45. Elliott and Adams come to the right. Carter goes wide left. 2 backs. Split the quarterback here. Cease, who stands at midfield. Cease, the quarterback, looking out here to the right. Now throws across the middle, and it's going to be incomplete. They were looking for Adams. Defender fell down out here, but the ball was way out in front of him. Almost looked like somebody ran the wrong route.
If he doesn't slip, this is an interception.
Cease was throwing to an area that he thought a receiver was going to be in, and nobody was there. They set Phillips in motion here to the near side. That draws the defense's attention. You think they're going to swing it out there, but instead they went for a deeper shot. Nobody home for the Dons. This is probably final play of the quarter here with 6 seconds remaining. We'll see where they go with the football. They'll send 3 receivers out here to the right. Carter, the single receiver, to the left. Cease takes the snap. Looking left, throws underneath. Ball caught by Carter. Can he get out of bounds? Not in time. Clock has expired. And flag down, though. Hold everything. If this is a flag on Spalding, because you can't end on a defensive penalty, maybe it's on Carter.
Yeah, it looks
based
like
on Carter's reaction. It's going to be. I think it's going to be unsportsmanlike on both guys. We'll see. No, it's going to be on Carter. Because if it was on Spalding, that would have given them 15 yards and would have been an easy field goal attempt.
Carter is pleading his case right now, but it looks like the Dons are headed.
Take a look at what happened here after the play. He got stripped of the football. Jones, then they knock it out. Oh, yeah. I mean,
that's the half.
Carter barely puts his right hand on the defensive back. Kind of a soft call, but it keeps anything growing from it here at the half. Halftime in Millersville. Spalding out in front of Loyola by a count of 21-6. Come on back and join us for third quarter action coming up.
The Spalding community is definitely one that I would describe as united.
There's a genuine desire to serve, to exemplify Christ.
And we see that every day in this building, from something as small as a senior helping a freshman with their locker, a teacher comforting a student. We see it in the smallest and the largest acts of kindness.
I knew it would actually be my calling to strengthen the faith life of the students that were around me in the way that I had my faith life strengthened as a student here before.
There's a million different people, a million different backgrounds. People come from all over the world, but the fact that we can all come together on faith, that's literally the embodiment of one body in Christ.
The growth of this school is unbelievable to me. The opportunities that are afforded to these students, it's impressive.
The nature of our size impacts the growth because of the options that our size enables us to offer our students. We're very deliberate about knowing emerging trends. We have so many different academic programs. We have so many different co-curricular programs.
If there is anything that is of interest to you, all you need to do is ask.
And it's great to see how the school and the athletic facilities have improved over the years.
When I have friends who are alumni reach out to me and I tell them that there's now an engineering building, it tells you the health of the school, which is embodied by the people who make it up. That's why it's been so successful. That's why there's so many opportunities at this school.
I think I immediately knew when I came for that open house 7th grade that like everything I had heard was true.
I didn't know what to expect because I'd never been to a Catholic school. I didn't know much about it.
It invited me into a lifetime of experiences that have been unforgettable.
The kids are passionate. You walk in, there's a little bit of electricity in the building. That's hard to describe. It's something that you feel.
I care about school now. I care about all of the people I'm surrounded with every day. I know that they care about me. And it's this sense of community that's enabled me to be able to push myself.
And grow through service. I feel like it made me a well-rounded human being.
I know that Spalding has everything here for all of my children, academically, emotionally, physically.
Whether it's clubs, whether it's sports, they're going to be leaders in and out of the classroom.
What I hope and pray is that at the end of your time at Spalding, you're going to remember how you felt, respected, included, and that you always felt one in Christ.
The opportunities afforded to these students just really speak to the success of this school. It's impressive.
It's more than just learning at school. Like, it's taught me how to treat people, how to grow in my faith, rather than just giving me an education and sending me off to college.
When you choose the Spalding experience, what you're getting is an environment that cares for the individual. This is a place where we welcome people home.
You're going to grow so much.
I know it may be nerve-wracking. This school is bigger than what you're probably used to.
This school, this community is truly like no other.
You will find innovation, a deepened faith life, family.
You're about to have a very crazy ride, but some of the best years of your life.
I still remember my first day.
We get to school, and my mom is like, don't be nervous. And I'm like, I'm not nervous. But I was freaking out.
I really had no clue what I was walking into.
Everything was unknown and uncertain.
What if I don't find my friend group? What clubs am I going to join? Did I bring my lunchbox?
Each step that I took closer, I could feel my heart race. This mixture of anticipation and excitement, the fear of the unknown.
From the moment stepping on campus, like, I immediately knew everything I had heard was true.
I found what I was looking for.
A lifetime of experiences that have been unforgettable.
High school is where you figure out who you are. And Spalding cares about that.
Academics, activities, there's something here for everybody.
Whatever it is that you are looking for, we'll provide it for you.
The most challenging, relevant, cutting-edge programs, the International Baccalaureate Project lead the way.
You look at the students, they're leaders. They challenge themselves academically and spiritually. It starts in the classroom and then transitions directly onto the field.
The community here is one that genuinely cares about each other.
We celebrate together. We all feel the school spirit.
We all come together on faith.
We are truly the embodiment of one in Christ.
The two questions that we answer with every decision that's made here: do we support the mission? Are we caring for our students? Yes, of course, calculus is important. Maybe you run a championship winning team. But what I hope and pray is that our students remember how we made them feel, and that we made them feel respected, important, and that they very much felt a part and welcomed at Archbishop Spalding.
Take a deep breath. You're going to grow so much.
You're going to be prepared for success in college and in life.
You will find a deepened faith.
Become a leader.
You're going to be pushed more than you ever have been before.
It's going to be difficult.
And this community will help you become the best version of yourself.
You're about to have some of the best days of your lives here.
And when you look back, you will realize you were always part of something bigger.
Getting out the car, walking to school, I was anxious, nervous.
It's a bigger school than I've ever been to. Didn't know any faces.
I remember sitting in that homeroom and feeling all of the nerves and the anticipation and excitement of what high school could bring. But I quickly found out that this was going to be not just my school, but my home.
Everybody had open arms.
There's a genuine love for one another.
Everybody knows everybody.
I care about all of the people I'm surrounded with every day.
When you choose Archbishop Spalding High School to be your home, you're getting a large school that feels like a small family.
You are never alone in this experience at all.
At the end of your time at Spalding, you're going to remember how Spalding lifted you up in the most positive way.
You're always going to feel that connection. You're going to want to come back home.
The Spalding community is definitely one that I would describe as united.
There's a genuine desire to serve, to exemplify Christ.
And we see that every day in this building, from something as small as a senior helping a freshman with their locker, a teacher comforting a student. We see it in the smallest and the largest acts of kindness.
I knew it would actually be my calling to strengthen the faith life of the students that were around me in the way that I had my faith life strengthened as a student here before.
There's a million different people, a million different backgrounds. People come from all over the world, but the fact that we can all come together on faith, it's literally the embodiment of one body in Christ.
The growth of this school is unbelievable to me. The opportunities that are afforded to these students, it's impressive.
The nature of our size impacts the growth because of the options that our size enables us to offer our students. We're very deliberate about knowing emerging trends. We have so many different academic programs. We have so many different co-curricular programs.
If there is anything that is of interest to you, all you need to do is ask.
It's great to see how the school and the athletic facilities have improved over the years.
When I have friends who are alumni reach out to me and I tell them that there's now an engineering building, it tells you the health of the school, which is embodied by the people who make it up. That's why it's been so successful. That's why there's so many opportunities at this school.
I think I immediately knew when I came for that open house 7th grade that like everything I had heard was true.
I didn't know what to expect because I'd never been to a Catholic school. I didn't know much about it.
It invited me into a lifetime of experiences that have been unforgettable.
The kids are passionate. You walk in, there's a little bit of electricity in the building. That's hard to describe. It's something that you feel.
I care about school now. I care about all of the people I'm surrounded with every day. I know they care about me. And it's this sense of community that's enabled me to be able to push myself.
And grow through service. I feel like it made me a well-rounded human being.
I know that Spalding has everything here for all of my children, academically, emotionally, physically.
Whether it's clubs, whether it's sports, they're going to be leaders in and out of the classroom.
What I hope and pray is that at the end of your time at Spalding, you're going to remember how you felt, respected, included, and that you always felt one in Christ.
The opportunities afforded to these students just really speak to the success of this school. It's impressive.
It's more than just learning at school. Like, it's taught me how to treat people, how to grow in my faith, rather than just giving me an education and sending me off to college.
When you choose the Spalding experience, what you're getting is an environment that cares for the individual. This is a place where we welcome people home.
You're going to grow so much.
I know it may be nerve-wracking. This school is bigger than what you're probably used to.
This school, this community is truly like no other.
You will find innovation, a deepened faith life, family.
You're about to have a very crazy ride, but some of the best years of your life.
I still remember my first day.
We get to school, and my mom was like, don't be nervous. And I'm like, I'm not nervous. But I was freaking out.
I really had no clue what I was walking into.
Everything was unknown and uncertain.
What if I don't find my friend group? What clubs am I going to join? Did I bring my lunchbox?
Each step that I took closer, I could feel my heart race. This mixture of anticipation and excitement, the fear of the unknown.
From the moment stepping on campus, like, I immediately knew everything I had heard was true.
I found what I was looking for.
A lifetime of experiences that have been unforgettable.
High school is where you figure out who you are. And Spalding cares about that.
Academics, activities, there's something here for everybody.
Whatever it is that you are looking for, we'll provide it for you.
The most challenging, relevant, cutting-edge programs, the International Baccalaureate Project lead the way.
You look at the students, they're leaders. They're challenging themselves academically and spiritually. It starts in the classroom and then transitions directly onto the field.
The community here is one that genuinely cares about each other.
We celebrate together. We all feel the school spirit.
That we all come together on faith.
We are truly the embodiment of one in Christ.
The two questions that we answer with every decision that's made here: do we support the mission? Are we caring for our students? Yes, of course, calculus is important. Maybe you run a championship-winning team. But what I hope and pray is that our students remember how we made them feel, and that we made them feel respected, important, and that they very much felt a part and welcomed at Archbishop Spalding.
Take a deep breath.
You're going to grow so much.
You're going to be prepared for success in college and in life.
You will find a deepened faith.
Become a leader.
You're going to be pushed more than you ever have been before.
It's going to be difficult.
And this community will help you become the best version of yourself.
You're about to have some of the best days of your lives here.
And when you look back, you will realize you were always part of something bigger.
Getting out the car, walking to school, I was anxious, nervous.
It's a bigger school than I've ever been to. Didn't know any faces.
I remember sitting in that homeroom and feeling all of the nerves and the anticipation and excitement of what high school could bring. But I quickly found out that this was going to be not just my school, but my home.
Everybody had open arms.
There's a genuine love for one another.
Everybody knows everybody.
I care about all of the people I'm surrounded with every day.
When you choose Archbishop Spalding High School to be your home, you're getting a large school that feels like a small family.
You are never alone in this experience at all.
At the end of your time at Spalding, you're going to remember how Spalding lifted you up in the most positive way.
You're always going to feel that connection. You're going to want to come back home.
The Spalding community is definitely one that I would describe as united.
There's a genuine desire to serve to exemplify Christ.
And we see that every day in this building, from something as small as a senior helping a freshman with their locker, a teacher comforting a student. We see it in the smallest and the largest acts of kindness.
I knew it would actually be my calling to strengthen the faith life of the students that were around me in the way that I had my faith life strengthened as a student here before.
There's a million different people, a million different backgrounds. People come from all over the world. But the fact that we can all come together on faith, that's literally the embodiment of one body in Christ.
Back here in Millersville, Cavaliers leading it by a count of 21-6. Pete Medhurst, Nick Testoni with you. And Nick, certainly for Loyola, they have to feel like potential unfulfilled in that first half. Multiple times they got it into Spalding territory, and when you do that, you have to come up with points in some way, and they didn't do that. And yet you feel, I mean, if you're Loyola, you feel like you're in the game. The problem is you're down 21-6. It's Spalding ball to start the second half. First possession for each team going to be critical here in this second half. I mean, if Spalding gets one more score, you almost feel like that at that point the mountain is almost insurmountable unless Spalding contributes to it. They had the one drive that was thwarted by an incredible deflection that ended up being an interception. The catch by Phillips off the deflection stopped a Spalding scoring driver. They would have at least one more score in that first half. But if you're Loyola, you look up at the scoreboard and you're like, man, I feel like we've played better than 21-6 here in the first half.
Yeah, and really, for the Cavaliers, I want to see them go down, put together a nice long drive and score, because on the Don side, they got to feel like they've let up two huge plays that led to touchdowns. If you look at all three touchdowns, it's the big run by Sims, the big catch and run by Moss, and then the other touchdown they surrendered was on a short field off the interception. Yeah. So really defensively, they've made just two big mistakes, and then they had a short field. The Cavaliers have not really put together one whole big drive complete with a touchdown.
See what happens here to start this second half. Loyola will kick off here. Of course, with Tyler Brown missing out due to illness tonight for Spalding. Weeby's had multiple opportunities in the punt game so far, and likely to be back here on this kickoff, and was after the touchdown that was scored by Loyola in that first half of play. Don's utilizing a number of different players getting the ball. They are going to assess the penalty that Carter got at the end of the first half. And really, I mean, you go back and look at the replay, it really wasn't much of anything. And, you know, the official saw the right hand on the shoulder of the Spalding player and throws the flag. And I think if the official had to go back and look at that again through the advantage of replay, it's probably a no call and a play on there. But as a result, Loyola is going to kick from their 25 here. And this is going to give Spalding a chance to have outstanding field position here to start this second half. We are underway. It's a good kick. Igweeby back to the 15. Up the middle to the 25, to the 30. The freshman spilled just over the 30-yard line, and a flag down from the head linesman on the far side.
Yeah, pretty good kick. He caught it while he was backing up.
Flag against the Cavaliers.
The penalty flag will be against Spalding. He walked off here from the 33. We'll see what the mechanic is. It'll be a hold against the Cavaliers. So it should be a 10-yard walk-off from where the flag is. So put him down somewhere near the 23-yard line. That's where the umpire stops. So Malik Washington and the Spalding offense to start this third quarter from their own 23. Two receivers to the left, two to the right. They'll put Kaufman, the tight end, in a slot receiver spot on the right-hand side. Sims, a single setback to the right of Washington from the right hash mark on 1st and 10. Malik takes the snap, throws outside the numbers, has the completion on the far side. Out across the 30-yard line to the 34. It'll be a gain of 10. Hayes makes another catch tonight for Spalding, 4th of the night for Ben. And it'll be a first down for the Cavaliers.
Coming out of the half, just trying to get some rhythm, a nice quick out throw. And it sets them up in first down.
Handoff inside, Sims barreling through the middle. Gets out across the 35 up to the 36-yard line. Good job down there in the bottom of the pile for the Dons. They got a lot of guys. We talked about it. You can see, you look at how many players Spalding has on the near side as to how many have traveled here, for Loyola. And they've got a little bit of a roster advantage. So you see some guys going both ways for the Dons. 24, Andrew Duvall, that time in on the stop, the senior, making the play there. Brings up second down and 7. Injured player for the Dons down on the field with 11:18 to go here in this third quarter. Spalding, there you see the upcoming games. Director Paul Garza was reading my mind because I was going to talk about how they play Mount St. Joe coming up here on November the 5th, and then the MIAA playoffs get underway. They'll be on the road next week, and if they win that game, that playoff game's likely here at Spalding on November the 11th at 7 o'clock. Of course, you play the regular season to give yourself a chance to have home field advantage through the playoffs and try to win that coveted MIAA A-Conference championship. We'd love to tell you who the hurt player was, but that's the one number not on the roster that we took a picture of, supplied by the Loyola staff before the game. There it is, John Watkins on the Max Preps roster, but not on the one that the team has. Interesting. Second down at 7. Ball at the 36. Washington throws. Ball deflected again. Third time tonight we've seen one of Malik Washington's passes deflected here by a defensive lineman. And again, it's Szymanski. Trevor Szymanski. His brother's playing left defensive end. Trevor plays the right defensive end. And that's the second time tonight Szymanski's gotten his hand on a ball. And it brings up third down at 7.
Pass one is intended for Moss, but a good job knocking it down. And now third down and a bit longer. Chance for the Dons to get off the field here early.
See that Loyola bench over there trying to cheer on their defense here to make a big stop. Third down. Washington has to tuck it down. He'll run. Trying to get outside the numbers, and he's going to be run out of bounds short of the first down.
4 yards on the
Good job by the coverage for Loyola that time, and it forced Washington from the pocket. And then a great job to close in from the secondary by Zeke Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, just great coverage on the field, and that led to the pocket collapsing. And Washington tried to make a break for it, but just a great job by the linebacker core by the Dons there.
Cooper Welch the punt. Good snap. Gets the kick away. It's a short kick, end over end, and it's going to go out of bounds just inside. Looked like it hit the line over there, but it bounces back inside toward the numbers. Either way, inside the 40-yard line. And, in fact, it did hit out of bounds because I'm watching the line judge on the far side angle with the referee who stops him there. And it'll be Loyola ball at the 37-yard line.
Well, here it is. This is the Dons' first possession of the second half, and they need points. They need to at least
got the stop they needed.
Yes, they did.
Got the stop that they needed. Looks like it's going to be Hines to take the first snap of the quarter. Takes it. Flips it left side. A simple pitch play on the left side. Brooklyn Jones, senior running back, carrying it on the left side. Looks like certainly, too, the Loyola staff, as this regular season winding down, getting a lot of the seniors involved here. Hines is a senior. Claps the hands. And again, the same play. Throw it to Jones. He runs it up the field. Look at the leg drive by Brooklyn Jones. And the senior moving the sticks. Gets up to the 49-yard line, first down for Loyola.
Yeah, they run the exact same play, and it looked like Jones was maybe stuffed at the line, and the pile just kept going, and he ends up getting the first down.
Tackle by 25.
So first and 10 at the 49 for Loyola. This has been as competitive a conference game that Spalding has really had here in the A-Conference.
If you look at, I believe, since the opener, they've only played one game that was within a one-score possession.
Try to move the formation around. Guy was going to the right. Now they're moving back to the left. Hines takes the snap, play action fake. Hines wants to keep it himself. Going to reverse directions, and Trent Gillis just won't let him. Trent Gillis that time kept contained on the near side, and then as Hines went to the far, Gillis did a good job to run him down. Great contain on that near side of the field here, not only by Trent Gillis, but Sean Johnson as well.
Yeah, it's a great play by Gillis because if he doesn't catch him, it actually opened up a lot on that far side and would have been a lot of room to run.
So to bring up second down and 11. In fact, closer to 12 back at the 47-yard line. 8:45 to go here in the third quarter. 21-6, Spalding on top. Hines puts a man in motion. It'll be a pitch to Worthington, running left. Worthington across midfield, dragging tacklers inside the Spalding 45, down to the 44-yard line. It'll bring up third down and 2.
Well, we're seeing what the halftime adjustment so far was for the Dons, and it's keeping the ball on the ground.
Yeah.
They've come out running the football, a lot of it to that left side. We've yet to see Bradley Cease take a snap or even enter the game yet. So looks like they're very content with keeping it on the ground so far.
They have had a ton of formation issues. You can see the coaching staff trying to get the receiver to come out to the numbers on the near side. Hines gives to Worthington, burrowing up the middle, and he'll have the first down, it looks like. We talked about their lack of usage of Worthington in that first half, but every time he touched the ball, he looked like a guy that could really move the chains. And that time he does again for Loyola's. They get it down to the 41-yard line and a first down.
Yeah, he's real shifty in there. It looked like he kind of sidestepped in the pile. Potential tackler that could have kept him short and just kept leaning forward and eventually got the first down.
First down at the 41-yard line for Loyola. 7.5 to go here in the third and a 21-6 Spalding advantage. Fourth time tonight that Loyola's made it into Spalding territory. Power formation here. Hines takes the snap. He'll follow right side. Now cuts it back up the middle. Gillis gets into him from behind. But he gets down to the 36-yard line, gain of 5. It'll bring up second down and 5.
Yeah, and you'll see here when Hines takes that, pretty much just a QB power, he likes to wait a second, hesitate, wait for that hole to open up, and then he hits the hole.
We get a stoppage here. I don't know if it's a timeout or not. It's an injured, timeout. Because you see the coordinator coming out into the huddle. Got a great block that time. A turnout block by Szymanski that time. A.J. Szymanski, the tight end. 6'5", 250-pound senior. Another guy that goes both ways for this Loyola team. Playing tight end on offense, left defensive end on defense. Now Cease back in. He'll take the snap under center here. Worthington takes the handoff, running left. Going to get outside the numbers. He'll have another first down. Tell you what, certainly can't say this Loyola offensive package lacks creativity, man. They run a lot of stuff. Good job there by Worthington. Good job leading the way that time. Barrett Jorgensen, 34, the senior out there leading the way, out on the perimeter blocking, and another first down here. The ball at the 27.
It's been ground and pounding. They're just chipping away, not like a ton of big yards, just nice bunch, 4 or 5 yard runs. And what they're doing is they're keeping the Cavaliers off the field offensively.
And there's an offside jumping into the neutral zone.
Offsides against the Cavaliers.
And again, Keyshawn Flowers just jumping up there as if he was going to blitz, but he goes into the neutral zone, and that's an automatic 5 yards, and it'll be 1st and 5 now for Loyola. Brimming with confidence here. The ball at the 21. Give it off on the right side. Worthington had the ball knocked out. Fumble on the play. Great hit by Pokness on defense for Spalding. Knocked it out. And it's going to be recovered by Trent Gillis. Pokness put the shoulder right on the ball, and Gillis gets the big fumble recovery to thwart the Loyola drive.
Well, they just stole it out completely. You see the push up front, and then makes a man miss, and then it's perfect. It's just shoulder right on the ball.
Pokness grabbed him from the side. Gillis comes in, not only knocks it out, but makes the fumble recovery for the Cavaliers. And a big play by number 2 there for the Cavs. They'll take over at the 21-yard line, 1st and 10 with 6:37 to go in the third. Malik Washington, inside screen here for Newton. And RJ does a good job to get up to the 25. Well defended by Loyola. It'll be a gain of 4. It'll bring up 2nd down and 6. Andrew Duvall on the stop there for Loyola. Washington takes the snap, hands to Hakeem Sims. Sims trying to get outside, runs out of bounds. He'll be short of the marker. They're going to say he stepped out near the 26. So it'll bring up 3rd down and 5 coming up here for Spalding.
On the carry.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking back, like we talked about how Loyola, they're looking at the scoreboard, and they've played better than what the score says, to be honest, and they put together a great drive with all the momentum, and they lose it in 1 second with a fumble.
2 receivers right, 2 to the left for Washington. Pump fakes, throws it. Oh, what a catch by Kaufman! Jamison Kaufman, the tight end, with a tremendous catch, climbing the ladder down at the 45-yard line. That's a gain of 24, make it 29 yards for the Spalding tight end, who's had a big night receiving.
There's a big play. They tried to hit that seam route about 4 or 5 times last week, couldn't connect. They finally get it here.
Here's Sims left side. Szymanski on the stop. Not before he gets down to the 41-yard line. Gain of 4. It'll bring up 2nd down and 6 as we go under the 6-minute mark here in this 3rd quarter, and Spalding leading it by a count of 21-6. From the left hash mark, Washington back to throw. Pressure comes. Looking right. Flag is down, and Washington will just run out of bounds over at the 40-yard line. I think this is going to be a holding call coming up against Spalding. The initial penetration, I think, by Szymanski, and then as he got closer to Washington, the offensive lineman looked like he reached out to try and grab him. And indeed, it is a hold against the Cavaliers. It's been a well-officiated game here tonight between these two MIAA conference rivals.
So Loyola, they give up these big plays every once in a while, but they've actually done a very good job of, when it's not the big play that leads to a touchdown, they do a good job of controlling it and not letting it continue on.
Yeah. Washington, it was 17 of 32 last week. The victory over McDonough. Takes the snap, short drop, out route Newton. RJ into Loyola territory. Turns, hands the ball to the official at the 48-yard line. So he gets some of the penalty yardage back.
Boy, you could sign up Newton for the same route and same play almost every single time.
When the guy is playing 10 yards off of him, we talk about that all the time, how simplistic sometimes teams are essentially offering you 5 to 6 free yards every time. Elliott right now 10 yards off of him on 3rd and 13. They'll go right back to him. Almost like they heard us up here. Elliott knocks him out of bounds. Now he makes it 4th and manageable. Ball down at the 38-yard line. Will bring up 4th down and 3.
Yeah, he starts about 10 yards off, and then even like on the snap drops even more. And I mean, it's really simple for Newton just to go 10 yards and sit down.
Washington looks to the sideline. 4th down. A long 3 coming up here for Spalding. Washington claps the hands, play action, throws, and he threw it behind the receiver. He was looking for Hayes on the slant, and the pass is incomplete.
Yeah, it's a slant route, and it's pretty well covered. You can see the linebacker closing in, and I don't even know if he puts that ball on him in front, the closing defensive back would have made a play anyways.
Yeah, ball was likely to be short even if he throws it in front of him. So Loyola gets a hold here, just like Spalding did, causing the turnover. Both teams penetrating into the other's territory, but nobody offer any points here in this 3rd quarter. As we talked about, the first drive for each team, already eaten up a ton of clock here with 5:08 to go. Neither team gets any points out of either drive into the other one's territory.
It seems like there's success on the drive early on, and just when you think they're about to break through, and the other team, the defense, makes a play, and it flips completely.
Spread formation here for Loyola. 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Cease gives to Worthington. Very slow developing running play, and Spalding eats it up. Took too long to develop there.
3-yard loss.
Good job there
in the backfield
by Damian Wilburn.
Tackle led by number 15, Damian Wilburn.
Yeah, it's a read option, it looks like. And with Cease out there, he's not really a threat to run, so they just sold out.
Yeah, absolutely right. Flowers in there as well. So the loss back to the 35. Be second down and 13 coming up here for the Dons. 3 receivers now to the left from the near side hash mark. Cease bobbles the snap. Pressure comes, and he's going to be sacked on the play.
Sacked for a loss.
Braden Morocco.
Braden Morocco.
Second time tonight for Morocco. He beats Szymanski, the left tackle, and Morocco picks up the sack back to the 33.
Good job by Morocco, keeping his eyes on the quarterback. Cease steps up in the
Third
pocket,
down,
and it allows
15
him
to
to just
go.
come off his blocker and get him easily. That was, I believe, also the first pass attempt in the second half for the Dons.
Braden Morocco, terrific baseball player as well. Injured player for the Cavs. It'll be Wilburn who comes out here. Replaced by Liam McNamara. With 3:55 to go here in the third. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right here on 3rd and long coming up for the Dons. Cease out of the gun. Takes the snap, knee high. Pump fakes, throws, looking long down the field, and it's going to be incomplete. This may be offensive pass interference.
If you watched it, it kind of looked like the wide receiver became the defensive back at that point. He was just trying to break it up.
Yeah, that. If anything, it's offensive pass interference. Wilson was going up to make a play on the ball. Yeah, it's offensive pass interference. I think the official pointed in the wrong direction. He keeps pointing against the defense, but I think the call is on the offense. There's no way this can be on Wilson. Wilson is in the air receiving the ball when Carter, the defensive back or the offensive player, runs into him. Wow, this has been a well officiated game. This is the first really bad call of the night.
I would almost think this is almost a no call. I mean, both guys are really just going after the
Wilson
football.
jumps up in the air to catch the ball. Carter runs into him to knock it out, and he calls pass interference. That's an atrocious call.
The Dons get a break.
That's just not a very good call. And otherwise, what has been a well-officiated game. Just brutal. 1st and 10, Loyola now at midfield. Worthington running to the left, cuts it up the field. Bulls ahead. Great power from Worthington down inside the 45 to the 44. It's a gain of 6.
Carried by number 4, taken down by number 25.
This has been a great
Elijah
way
Jones.
for Worthington as he delivers the blow. You don't see many people hit Keyshawn Flowers that way. It's usually Flowers doing it the other way around.
Worthington running a little angry. Remember last time he was down here, he got popped and lost the football. This time he delivers the hit.
Second down and 4. Again, Loyola into Spalding territory with under 3 minutes to go down with a third. Worthington in motion across the formation. Hines takes the snap. He wants to run. Flowers overruns the play. Hines comes back the other way and gets up near the first down marker at the 40-yard line.
21, Sean Johnson.
Good job by Hines. He planted that foot, let Flowers overrun it. Sean Johnson comes up, cuts his legs out from underneath of him, but it'll be another first down for Loyola at the Spalding 40.
Everything about that play design was to go left. They're pulling a guard, and Hines, who likes to take his time and see if the hole opens up, decided, I'm going to go back right.
Great job to plant the foot and let the defender overrun the play. So here's Loyola again, inside Spalding territory another time. Cease back in at quarterback this time. Jones is the deep tailback, 8 yards back. Cease wants to throw. Defender fell down. He's got people running after him, and Wilburn hits the ball as he went to pass it. It'll be an incomplete pass.
Pressure brought by number 15, Damian Wilburn.
The pressure was on there. The Cavaliers came after Cease in a hurry. And really nothing for him to do but just try to get it away. Running for his life from about the start of the snap there.
So to bring up second down and 10. But it seems like any time that Loyola has thrown anything in terms of a longer developing route, Spalding has had people chasing Cease in every one of those occasions.
Yeah, their best plays is Elliott, and really we've seen them use Worthington out of the slot more here, try to get him involved.
Worthington, good pass pro that time from the running back. Throw outside here, caught by Phillips.
Pass complete to number
Down
8.
at the 36. Watch the
Fourth
job
down
by
bounce
Worthington in pass protection there. Stuck that shoulder right in there to the running back coming in. College coaches will love to see that on tape right there. We know you can run the ball. We know you can catch the ball. But what are you going to do in that situation when that linebacker's coming in, blitzing like that? Are you going to throw that shoulder in there? Yes, sir.
Yeah, Worthington's playing like a defender out there, but as a running back. And now you can see they're moving him around.
Plays with a lot of physicality at that running back spot. He stands to the right of Cease here on 3rd down and 6. Cease takes the snap, looking left. Pressure comes again, and he's sacked on the play.
Sack for a loss.
He overran a play earlier, but Keyshawn Flowers doesn't overrun the quarterback this time. And Keyshawn Flowers gets the sack for Spalding.
4th down.
Yeah, it's miscommunication. The center for Loyola thinks he's got to help to the right side, and it's a wide open gap up the middle that Flowers comes flying through.
So most nights the Spalding offense does a ton. Tonight it's the defense that continues to make stops as their back gets closer to the goal line. Punt formation here from Loyola. Under a minute to go now in the 3rd. Igweeby comes up, makes the fair catch at the 14-yard line. It's a good job. Loyola had 3 guys down there. If that ball hits the ground, it maybe down it deeper. Carter right down there on special teams for Loyola. So again, Spalding has had some, in terms of most of their games, their average starting field position tonight might be the worst they've had in quite some time. And we've seen them down inside the 15-yard line multiple times here offensively. They'll start at the 15-yard line.
Let's see how they can respond. Like I said earlier, they haven't really put together a real long drive offensively.
It'll be Sims coming left following Kaufman. Gets out across the 15 near the 18-yard line. It'll be a gain of 3.
Sims on the carry.
They'll bring up 2nd down and 7.
But again, this is the offense, right? They like to hit on the big play. But I think if they just put together one long drive and end it with a touchdown, really put it out of reach, this will probably be the last play of the 3rd quarter.
Cavaliers break the huddle. Newton comes out here to the left. Moss will go right. Down to 7 seconds. Washington claps the hands and takes the snap. Looking right. Throws that way. Coming back to make the catch is Moss. He'll make the catch at the 30-yard line.
Number 8, Max Moss.
That'll be the final play of the 3rd quarter.
8
We're
yards
through 3 quarters here in Millersville. Cavaliers trying to stay unbeaten in the MIAA, looking to get to 5-0. They lead Loyola 21-6. Back with 4th quarter action in a moment.
Hallmarks of a Spalding athlete. Are they able to compete at the highest level possible? Spalding is positioned very uniquely because they are in one of the best leagues in the state. When they're competing at a high level, that's big time.
It was always known as a great academic school, but we wanted to build a full-rounded school for student athletes. And we knew that they could get to where they're at today.
Since I've graduated from high school, I've watched the campus grow astronomically. Spalding, it laid a foundation for my understanding of teamwork, friendship, and things that were so much bigger than what happened on the basketball court.
They're challenging themselves academically and spiritually, and that transitions directly onto the field, where that consistency molds and shapes everybody that's involved.
The future of Spalding athletically is strong and vibrant, and I'm excited for our Cavs.
Back here in Millersville, Spalding 21, Loyola 6 as we go to the 4th quarter. Pete Medhurst, Nick Testoni with you. Glad to have you with us tonight from Millersville. Paul Garza leading our technical crew, bringing you great sights and sounds of this one tonight from Millersville. Washington gives to Sims. Hakeem up the middle, gets to the 31-yard line.
2 yards on the carry by Hakeem Sims.
A gain of 2 to bring up 2nd down and 8. Now, at this point of your Spalding, there's no style points in a game like this now. This is just about closing out this game and making sure you get to 5-0 in league play.
Yeah, and Loyola moved the ball a lot in the 3rd quarter, but no change in score. So the pressure's all on them.
Szymanski there to make the stop on Sims. Good job by AJ coming down the left side. Again, nobody really blocked him. He came down the line of scrimmage, made a nice play, loss of a yard, back to the 30. It'll bring up 3rd down and 9.
Big chance for Loyola to get off the field here, and when they do get the ball back, we'll see if they open up the offense a little bit, because they cannot rely on long running drives as the game gets down.
Yeah, now we're in the 4th quarter. 60 seconds gone by. Washington throws. Got his man Newton at the marker, and Newton will have the first down. Stays in bounds. No, they'll finally blow him dead at the 46-yard line. All night, Nick, outside the numbers. It hasn't mattered either side. R.J. Newton has been the man.
Yeah, R.J. Newton, the average depth of target has to be 8 to 10 yards.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to do anything else.
1st and 10, Spalding at the 46. Washington, play action fake. Looking, now rolling out to his left. He's going to heave it downfield, looking for Moss, who's come all the way across the field. Moss goes up, and he comes down with the football. Max Moss covered 40-plus yards running that route across the field, and he went up amongst 2 defenders and made a tremendous contested catch.
Up in the booth, you can see this transpiring the whole way. He rolls out left, does Washington, and the entire time Moss was working his way across the field, and it was just if he was going to get it up or not.
Blake started here on the near side, went 40 yards across the field and caught it far. Here's Hakeem Sims running left. Keeps his feet moving. Hakeem Sims into the end zone. Touchdown.
Well, there it is. Big play for Moss, and Hakeem Sims just capitalizes right on the backside of it.
Just like you talked about. A big, like we saw in the first half. A big pass play, now a 10-yard running play. And just like that, it's going to be a 28-6 game, and Loyola's going to look behind themselves and go, you know, we've played much better than this, but that's what happens when you play Spalding. What do we talk about in the keys to the game? You can't get mossed, and they got mossed on that drive.
I don't think there could have been more of a moss than that play that just happened.
Good job by Bonacisi to get that ball down, and Cooper Welch adds the extra point. 10:32 to go in the 4th, and Max Moss doing what Max Moss does. I mean, we have the great view on that from up here. To see what Max Moss did, going all the way across the field, as he was running a slant as it was, but as Washington kept drifting to his left, Nick, he just kept running to the far side. I mean, Loyola's got 2 guys there. Max just jumps up in the air and makes the play. I mean, watch this. You can see him at the bottom of the screen. He's all the way down here. That's the one. That's the Newton play before it. But the fact that presence of mind to see his quarterback rolling out that way, and then he just took off across the field. Just a thing of beauty to watch.
It was. I was just going to say it's a thing of beauty. As Washington rolled out, you could see, like I said, the whole thing happening. It was about a 40-yard crosser, and everything just lined up perfectly. And then they get up to the line real quick, and Sims punches it in.
And that kick's going to go into the end zone. Good job by Cooper Welch. Gets the touch back. So with 10:32 to go here in the 4th. And for good measure, Max Moss, who runs down on special teams, runs down to get the ball in the back of the end zone. The guy does everything here for the Cavaliers. He's running behind the end zone to bring that ball back to his sideline right now.
A ball hawk in more ways than one. I want to go back real quick when we talked about, you said don't get Moss. The other thing was ball control. And Loyola in the 3rd quarter actually did a great job of holding the football. They just can't finish drives, and that's been the problem tonight.
They've done a good job achieving that key. They did a good job in the 2nd quarter as well. Now down 28-6, 10.5 to go. Worthington out in motion. They'll screen it out to him here on the near side. Across the 20, 25 up to the 30. Kendrick Worthington, great-looking running back, sophomore. Here's that.
11 yards on the carry by
there's the other replay again, back to Newton.
Taken down by number 16.
We keep trying to give you another look at it, but so first down for Loyola at their own 31.
You know, also Shane Elliott's been a little quiet since the 1st quarter. Besides Worthington, it just hasn't been that second weapon for the Dons.
That's a good point. Tried him Carter a couple times. Cease, play action, screens it out to the far side. Out across the 30, up near the 40. It'll be to Elliott. It'll be a gain of 9. Right on cue. We hadn't seen Shane Elliott in a while.
Taken down by number 25.
2 good blockers out in front. Elijah Jones makes a nice open field tackle. So to bring up second down and 1. Now clock working against Loyola, though. You can't really get into too much ball control mode here. Down 28-6 with 9.5 to go.
And as far as the deep ball, Cease has gone deep, and he's shown he's got a very good arm, but it just doesn't seem like he has the touch. A lot of overthrows.
Worthington to the right of him here. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. As they flank the tight end Szymanski out. They'll screen it to him out there. Job by AJ, plowing forward with some great power that time.
I'd like to see him barreling down.
That's not an appetizing thought. Flowers gets over there with Elijah Jones. Elijah Jones made a lot of stops tonight. And he was willing to run up there with some courage and throw his shoulder into big 6'5", 250-pound A.J. Szymanski. From the 46-yard line, Loyola with another first down. 8:50 to go here in the fourth. Cavaliers 28-6. Cease with Worthington to his left. Takes the snap. Back to throw. Pressure comes. Throws out here to the near side. He's got Carter open at the 45. Down inside the 40 near the 36-yard line. It'll be another first down and a good throw by Cease from the right hash mark outside the numbers across the field here. This is a tough throw for the sophomore quarterback, and he gets it out there nicely to Carter.
Easily one of their better looking passing plays of the day. Really interested to see how Loyola has converted here, because this is against their whole offensive scheme they've wanted to do all day. They've wanted to keep it on the ground, slow it down, but now they're moving and they're finding some success doing it.
Cease, the sophomore, takes the snap knee high, has time, loading it up, going down the far right side, and it's going to be out of bounds. Going to bring up second down and 10.
Pass incomplete.
Good coverage on the far side. Man, they have really been picking on Kari Wilson tonight. Wilson's acquitted himself very nicely out there at the corner. Going to bring up second down and 10. Pass was intended for Kendrick Worthington that time down the sideline. That's a name I think we're going to hear throughout the Baltimore area over the next couple of years. Kendrick Worthington here for Loyola.
We've seen just how hard he runs. Shifty, but also a power back.
3 receivers to the right. Carter, single receiver to the left. They put Worthington in motion. Cecil screen it out to him, and he dropped it. But a flag is down at the start of the play for illegal procedure against Loyola. It's not a bad play. Screen it out to that guy with 3 lead blockers out there, but the illegal procedure before the start of the play going to back him up 5 yards. I think the Loyola staff, when I go back and look at their own film on this, they're going to look back at the first half about really the lack of involvement for Worthington. We saw direct snaps to Elliott, we saw it to Hines, and Worthington really wasn't getting any touches. To me, Worthington's your best football player. That guy's got to touch the ball 20, 25 times in a game right now for Loyola.
Yeah, no doubt. He shows that he can get yards when he needs to. Not a lot of negative plays for him. He's going to fall forward and get you at least 4.
Second and 15. Elliott in motion across the formation. Cease back to the throw. Here comes pressure. They screen it out to Worthington here on the near side. Still barreling through tacklers. Finally gets pushed out of bounds. Gets down inside the 40-yard line.
Cease took a shot from Boone. Stayed in there and delivered it.
Gillis hanging on for dear life. Finally got the assist from Flowers to knock him out of bounds on the far side. Ball's at the 38-yard line. 3rd down, 13 coming up here for Loyola. Cease gets the play. He'll come in from the sideline to run all the way back into the huddle. Taking his time. He's got the time. Clock stops with 7:55 to go here in the fourth as Worthington got out of bounds. From the left hash mark. Cease with Worthington to his right. 3 receivers to the right. Single receiver Adams to the left. Cease takes the snap. Rolling to his right. Loaded up. Going down the right side. And that pass is caught. Touchdown. It'll be Phillips in the right corner of the end zone. It's a great catch. Better throw by Cease. Put plenty of air under it and let Phillips go up and get it for the touchdown.
Well, I said earlier, Cease has shown he's got the arm. He's been a little inaccurate, but the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown, he's just letting his receiver go make a play. And Phillips does a great job of high-pointing the football. Defensive back never got his head turned around, never knew it was coming.
50 yards in the air from Cease to Phillips for the touchdown. And Loyola on the board here with 7:47 to go here in the fourth quarter. They will go for 2 here.
Make it a 2-possession game.
Three receivers again to the right. Adams, single receiver left. Cease going to roll to his right. Throws back into the middle of the field. Carter is receiver and falling down. And it goes incomplete.
Yeah, I think Elliott's the read right here, and he just didn't get it out in time. He was forced to throw it back across the field. Never really had a chance.
So at 28-16, still 2 possessions, but you need 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions now if you're Loyola. Certainly could have kicked that and stayed needing an 8 and a 7 to get there at this point. See if they attempt an onside kick with 7:47 to go here. It looks like they may be doing just that.
Well, I've seen the Spalding offense, and if they get this in the short field, they will not sit on the football. They're going to go down and try to score.
Austin Delay for the onside kick. And it hasn't gone 10 yards yet, and it won't.
And
there's the flag.
The band, there was a long play of the tuba that was like a wham, and that's kind of the perfect timing when that ball was kicked.
Right. Exactly. And kind of the right music to have behind the kick that's not going 10 yards. Kind of like
really captured the kick in a single sound. So
that was a great job. Spalding Band does a terrific job here each and every night. Cavaliers are at home. So the short field that Nick was talking about here for the Cavs materializing.
And this is where we saw last week with McDonough. It gets late in the game, and I think a lot of tacklers, A, they start getting tired, and B, they're trying to cause a turnover, trying to rip at the ball. It's not as much tackling, so this is where a big run could be broken off right here.
From the 44, Big Weeby in motion across the formation from right to left. Washington claps the hands, takes the snap. Ooh, good hit that time again. Tell you what, pound for pound tonight, all night on defense for Loyola. Andrew Duvall has been everywhere. Look at this. Sheds the block, gets in there to knock down Gavin Scruggs. It'll be a loss of a yard. In fact, 2. It'll be 2nd down and 12. Scruggs, the backup running back into the game here for Hakeem Sims. Clock on the move, 7:17 to go. Both teams all 3 timeouts remaining. 28-12, Spalding on top. From the left hash, Washington takes the snap. Looking that way, now rolling out here to his right. And a throw underneath. Caught. Moss, 35, turns back in, runs through a man at the 30-yard line. He'll have 15 yards and a first down for Spalding.
It's just so special after the catch. I mean, he catches this ball with the defender in his face and somehow gets around him and probably got an extra 4 yards.
And delivers the blow, falling forward at the end of the play.
It was Tucker that was right in his face, and he just couldn't catch up to him too quick. Tough for a linebacker to be matched up against a speedster like Moss.
We've seen it all year from Max, too. What you want from your receivers, catch with your hands. Hands out in front of you. Don't let the ball come into your body. It'll be a fake to Scruggs and a screen out here to Moss. That's going to be a backwards pass, so it's out of bounds at the 33. So they will lose 3 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd and 13. And that's a good call by the official. That ball was clearly thrown back behind Moss. So it's a loss of 3 on the play. It's essentially ruled a lateral.
The edge defender got in there, and Washington, instead of just maybe going somewhere else with it, tried to drop down from about a sidearm throw, which he did hit Moss with earlier for a big play and a touchdown. This time just didn't work out.
2nd down 13 from the 33. 6:45 remaining. Kaufman in motion now. He'll stop in the left slot. Washington back to throw. And he'll just throw it away. Scruggs, the intended receiver here on the near side. Now we get a flag thrown by the official on the far side of the field, away from everything. This was at the very end of the play. He's going to call an eligible man downfield against Spalding. So
the screenplay set up and probably just didn't get it out in time.
as soon as it throws that timing off, your linemen are usually taught on a play like that, kind of wait on like a 3 count. As soon as you get to 3, start getting downfield, and that play took a long time to develop. 5-yard walk-off back to the 37. This is second down at 17 now for Spalding.
And it's tough for a lineman, right, because his back is towards the entire play.
Washington gives to Sims running right. Hakeem down inside the 30, inside the 25, finally run out of bounds. It'll make it third and manageable now. And again, it's Sims. Oh, what a great block. He got out on the perimeter. The wide receivers all night, and that looked like Newton that time. The wide receivers all night for Spalding have been incredible blockers.
Sims just glides. He has a different type of speed, especially once he hits the corner, gets around the edge. Just so difficult to tackle.
I think we're going to have an illegal participation penalty here on Spalding. They have chaos, guys coming in and off the field.
It's probably, and this drive started at midfield after the onside kick, but it's got to be one of the longer Spalding drives as far as time is. They've been running the ball, keeping it on the ground a lot.
Well, they don't adjudicate anything there. So at the 23, it'll bring up third down and 3. Official's holding that hand on his chest, which indicates illegal participation. It'll be Sims running left behind Kaufman. That's a great job by Loyola defensively. Referee throwing a flag from behind the play. We'll see. Usually he has holding there. And it is holding on Spalding. Oh, yeah. He's going to throw that flag against 55, Dylan Jones. Dylan Jones has the shirt, shoulder pad, everything in his hand. And the referee with a clear view makes the play. So you had 4th down and short coming up for Spalding, even though they didn't get the first down. Loyola elects to take the penalty to give them 3rd down over again. Now you're down 2 scores with 6:14 to go. 2 plays now to get 13 yards. See if the Loyola defense can get a hold here. Because you got to get the football back if you're Loyola. You almost don't want to give up you don't want to take the penalty because you don't want to give them an extra down here. Clock on the move with 6 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter. Kaufman, the tight end, will line up in a slot to the left. Washington on 3rd down and long. Play action fake. Throws out here. It's Moss. Cuts it back inside the 20. 15 down to the 11. Max Moss on the same route, Nick, and the same result. Comes back toward his quarterback like you're taught, but then able to turn it up the field inside and get almost 10 extra yards here.
And you just counted right there. It was 2 missed tackles. The DB who was guarding him tries to get him from going back. He gets on the ground. The linebacker coming in to help. Can't get him. And 2 missed tackles, and forget it. That's enough for Max Moss.
1st and 10 from the 11-yard line. And again, it's Max Moss with a big play. The Cavaliers need it, and a good delivery by Malik Washington. Clock with 5:15, and it's moving. It's Hakeem Sims. Jump cut inside. Moves down inside the 10. Down to the 9. This is Mansky on the stop.
2 yards on the carry.
And they really, they'll be aggressive, but they really can just run the ball, run the clock down here, and then kick a field goal.
Sims will come out. Scruggs will come in as they look to the play for the signal. I mean, they're just the guys in the backfield are all just sitting there looking to the bench here. 4:36 to go. Clock on the move. Let's see if they elect to run the clock down here. Now the signal comes. We'll see if they can get this play off. That took a long time. Kaufman lines up as he slot back to the right. Isaac Patterson on as a slot as well. It'll be Kaufman coming to the near side. Tries to cut it upfield. Stays in bounds, dives for the pylon. Did he get there? Officials communicating with each other whether he stepped out of bounds or not. They're going to say he did step out, though, back near the 4-yard line.
6 yards on the carry by number 18, Jamison Kaufman.
Oh, it's close. Maybe the right foot.
Yeah.
Obviously a little easier when you have replay.
The official looking through a bunch of bodies, too. He was caught behind, probably 4 or 5 guys there trying to navigate that up the sideline. So from the 4, it'll be 3rd down. It'll be Kaufman powering left, spins, drives down near the 1. He'll be very close to the 1st down.
3 yards on the carry by Kaufman.
Well, at this point, they're going to try to punch it in. At the very worst, you're leaving Loyola with about 90, 98 yards to go.
And they're going to bring the chains out, I think, for a measurement here. They've stopped the clock. And they finally stop it now with 3:44 to go. This ball's down near the 1. They needed to get near the 1 for the 1st down. They'll measure here. Spalding leading at 28-12. With Mount St. Joe next week on the road, trying to complete an undefeated season in the MIAA. Great video we saw on social media today. The officials brought the chains out. The ball was short by about 6 to 8 inches. The official moves the ball up to where the peg is and then signals 1st down. I think it was up in New Jersey, Vineland, New Jersey. It's pretty funny. So they're short by about 4 inches. Power formation coming up. Scruggs, Kaufman. They bring Damian Wilburn in. It'll be Washington on the quarterback sneak. Malik powering forward, waiting for a signal. Still no signal yet. They push him back, and it's a touchdown.
Well, if he didn't get the touchdown, he at least got the 1st down.
Yeah.
And that'll pretty much put the nail in the coffin. It's already looking pretty bleak, but they've run it down. Great drive.
1 yard on
and that's the kind of drive when you're trying to win championships, Nick, right there. You've been in a game, and I think, look, there's been a lot of things tonight that Kyle Schmidt and his coaching staff will be able to go back and say, hey, we got to do some better things here. We got to be cleaner in our execution. But when they needed the game-closing drive, they just got it right there. Of course, getting it on the onside kick that went out of bounds 44 yards away helps, but they were able to finish off the drive. Flag is down on the try. It'll be a false start against the Cavaliers.
We'll retry the attempt.
So we'll do it again.
Yeah, and they did it mainly on the ground, and everyone kind of got involved there. It wasn't just strictly Sims. Kaufman was running the football. They had the one big throw. That was Max Moss, and obviously he's so special after the catch, but really able to put a well put together drive that ate a lot of clock, and they capped it off with a touchdown.
And the thing about it is when you play them, you watch the tape, you know what routes they're running, and you still can't stop it. That's the thing.
I was waiting for one time. I believe Elliott has been matched up.
Now another false start.
Elliott has been matched up on Newton on the outside, giving him that 10-yard cushion. One time, take a gamble.
And go try maybe a pump and go.
Yeah. If you're Newton, why not just shell out and try? Because you know what he's doing every time, but no adjustments made there, and Spalding's just going to take what they give him.
Yeah, I mean, Newton all night long getting pretty much 8 yards every time he wanted to because of the depth of the cornerback play. This becomes a 30-yard extra point now for Cooper Welch. And it's blocked. Like we said, Kyle Schmidt will have a lot of stuff on this tape to look at over the weekend.
3:37 remaining in the game. The Cavaliers lead the Dons 34-12.
When you're getting ready to play most important football game of the year, with Mount St. Joe coming up with a chance to close out league play undefeated, it'll be enough to get their attention this week. As we said, had some guys sick early in the week. You didn't have Tyler Brown tonight in this game. But, we see it on the pro level. We see it on the college level. Football's an unbelievable sport, but you know what? Kids are human. And to play with that consistency of effort and execution, the effort is there. I don't think anybody's questioning that they're not playing with great effort, but sometimes even the best teams don't execute. I mean, You know, we're watching Tom Brady struggle for one of the few times in his career right now. I mean, he hadn't lost 3 games in a row since 2002. So,
and you know, you can speak to it. You can see Loyola. They've had a lot of trouble sometimes with substitutions, guys not getting set. You just don't see that from Spalding as much.
Yeah.
And these are high school kids. Just a great job by the coaching staff preparing them.
Carter up to the 20. Bang! Oh. Wow. And that's going to be a potential targeting foul here. I don't want to speculate because we had action right in front, but oh yeah, Gillis comes up high.
Carter's trying to evade a tackler. His head's exposed, and he just leads with it.
Yard penalty. Good call by the official there.
Penalty against the Cavaliers.
Interested to see what the Dons do here. Obviously, look at the score. Probably no comeback in full, but let's see how they run their offense. Probably a big talking point over there is let's end the game with a nice something to build off of.
3 receivers out here to the left. Worthington, the single setback to the left of Cease. Elliott slips in, switches into the slot here. Cease will look that way. Pressure coming. Throws underneath to Worthington. Worthington breaks out of a tackle up the sideline. He goes at the 50. Worthington into the open field. Steps out of another tackle. Kendrick Worthington. He's inside the 20. Down to the 10. Kendrick Worthington goes all the way for a touchdown. Oh, that young fella is special.
Kendrick Worthington. I said in the beginning, very special on the ground, but in the passing game too. And this screenplay almost doesn't get off. It's about a sidearm delivery from Cease, and Worthington just weaves in and out, and it's a house call.
65 yards in all. Look at the big offensive lineman. He's 40 yards downfield. Down there lead blocking for his man.
Well, there's something to build off of.
Definitely. No doubt. Sophomore. That guy can roll. Bennett Wright, the offensive lineman down the field. Got to give him some love there. He's 40 yards downfield helping Worthington. Flag is down. Cease throws for the 2-point conversion. He's got the pass to Elliott, but a flag was down at the start of the play, and it's going to be procedure against Loyola. It'll be procedure against the Dons here.
Well, if that wasn't just evidence enough, you said earlier, if you're Loyola going forward, I don't think there's enough touches for Worthington in the game.
No, absolutely not. That young fella showed you the goods right there.
And we've seen him put his head down in between the tackles. We see him in the passing game there. He obviously can make guys miss, and then the speed. I mean, he finished off that run, breaking tackles, and still putting on the Jets, not getting caught from behind.
So the 5-yard walk off here. And they will retry. (34-18) the score with 3:14 to go. Both teams with 3 timeouts remaining. Cease will take the snap from the gun, from the 8-yard line for the 2-point conversion. Cease rolling to his right. Looking, throws in the back of the end zone. Got a man wide open. It's Carter for the 2-point conversion. Ezra Carter wide open in the back corner of the end zone. It makes it a 34-20 game with 3:14 to go. Carter left his man. Nobody went with him.
Cavaliers 34.
As he ran by Elijah Jones at the goal line and then just kept going through the end zone. This Loyola team has got some pieces. I mean, Carter shown us a lot here tonight. Clearly with Worthington. They got some pieces in here. I mean, the quarterback, Cease, is only a sophomore.
Big arm from Cease.
Carter's just a junior, so he'll be back again next year. Owen Shine this time will attempt the onside kick.
Let's see if he can get it. It's a good 10 yards this time.
Last time Duvall tried it, or Gillet rather, and it didn't go 10. This one will go 10, and it's botched. Ball is loose, but 3 red jerseys there to finally get to it.
Yeah, he kicked this one pretty far back, and they get the result, but it's so far back that the safety all the way in the back was able to slide up. I don't actually think he got it, but he was able to get there.
Spalding.
Just too far for the Dons to run on that muff.
Because he kicked it hard past the initial line of guys, then it bounced off the one guy and was in play.
Just a little too far for the Gunners to go get that football.
So the ball will be spotted at the 34-yard line. First down, Cavaliers at the 34. .3:14 remaining here in this fourth quarter. Washington brings Kaufman, sets him up. It'll be a power formation to the left, and Sims brought down. Great penetration again. You know who's making the play. Look at him, 24 from his linebacker spot.
And you've seen him do that, right? He's coming from the opposite side and just cut through the line and make a play.
Andrew Duvall sneaking through there. It'll be no gain on the play. It'll bring up second down and 10. Loyola calling a timeout. Their first of 3 that they have. You can see, look at Kyle Schmidt, animated with his team. He wants them to maintain focus here and close this game out. This is one of the few times we've seen, I don't know if limping to the finish line is really the right vernacular, but it's almost as if Spalding, like an end of a marathon, you can see that line there, but man, you're just hoping that line comes up. You're not really running through the line at the end of 26.2. You're just hoping the line gets to you right now. That's almost kind of the way Spalding is executing right now in this game.
Well, I thought after that last drive where they went in and punched it in, that was all they needed. But when Loyola puts together a one-play touchdown drive with a huge play, everything changes.
2 receivers right, 2 to the left here. Sims to the left of Washington on 2nd and 10. Washington screens it to Sims left side. Runs through one tackle. Now if you're Sims, you want to stay in bounds, and he does. Clock will run here.
Complete to Sims for a gain of 6.
It looked like he didn't know where he was as he
ran through the
sidesteps.
Duvall tackle that time, and Duvall's ready to have another stop. McWeeby will come off. Patterson comes on here. 3rd down, 2 coming up for the Cavaliers. Ball at the 42. They need the 44 for a first down. Clock just rolling here with 2:22 to go. Little surprised Loyola not taking timeouts to preserve some time here.
I was interested to see how they used it. They used one at about the 3-minute mark, and now they're just letting it run.
I think Schmidt's going to call another timeout so he doesn't lose the yardage here, and he will.
Timeout.
They got all that clock off now.
First charge, timeout.
Yep, 3rd down and 2 coming up with 2:02 remaining here in this fourth quarter. Again, next week, Spalding will be at Mount St. Joe, and then they win that game, they for sure be hosting a playoff game back here on November 11th, on Friday, November 11th at 7 o'clock. And right now, you know, you want to go into the postseason strong. They'll be on the road next Saturday at Mount St. Joe at 1 o'clock. Be a big game there. And then, you know, nobody remembers undefeated regular seasons if you lose in the playoffs. You play for the postseason. See what happens there on November 11th for the Cavaliers. 3rd down, 2 yards to go.
I was going to say it's a clean slate once
Absolutely.
Once playoffs hit.
That's right. Patterson and Kaufman both on the left side here. Sims to the right of Washington. Hakeem has it straight up the middle, has the first down, shrugs the man off, stays on his feet. Finally thrown down out of bounds on the far side inside the 40-yard line.
Look how quick he just goes right through, slipping through those blocks. Does a good job to hold on to the football, too.
Gets down to the 36-yard line.
Only thing you could have asked for him more was to go down inbounds.
Minute 51 to go here. Spalding looking at the sideline for the signal. Clock arrests with 1:51 to go as Sims was thrown down out of bounds. He's had a big night again, over 100 yards. Kaufman lines up, slot right, left, and Patterson to the right. It's Sims right behind the pulling slot back, inside of 35, down to the 34.
3 yards on the carry by number 6.
Minute 40 to go.
If Loyola doesn't use their timeouts here, I'd assume this is just, they're just waving it here.
Spalding will improve to 8-1, 5-0 now in MIAA A conference play. Facing a second down at 7 coming up here. And again, you're just waiting to take as much play clock time down as you can. Washington has the signal. Heads back to the line of scrimmage. Kaufman and Patterson both line up as slots to the left. Sims to the right of Washington. Malik will take the snap, and he'll give it to Sims. Sims over that right side, inside the 30, down to the 26-yard line, and he'll have another first down for the Cavaliers.
Sims, enough for a Cavalier.
Yeah, I just can't say it enough. He's just so quick, and I think like his ability to be so quick from the backfield, and then Moss on the outside, they just complement each other so well. You can't focus in on one guy.
No, and for a guy with his build, he runs with surprising power. Yeah. You're a linebacker, and you're surprised at how strong he is when he runs through you on the other side of the ball. They're going to have to run one more play, and then Malik Washington going to take the snap. Gets the ball from Jason Shipman, the center, puts the knee down, and the Cavaliers got a heck of a test tonight here from Loyola. Dons were in Spalding territory all night. There you see guys dapping each other up. It's a heck of a football game here tonight. Cavaliers earned this one indeed as they improved to 8-1, 5-0 in MIAA play as the Cavaliers win it tonight by a count of 34-20.
Your final score of tonight's game.
Max Moss with another big game catching passes.
20.
R.J. Newton solid on the outside. Also a good night for Ben Hayes as well. Defensive play as well. The Spalding side when they had to early in the game. Loyola spent a lot of time in the first half with the ball in Spalding territory. The Cavaliers now head to Mount St. Joe next Saturday. 5-0 record in league play. Appreciate you guys being along for the ride tonight. For Nick Testoni, Paul Garza, and all of our technical cast and crew, I'm Pete Medhurst. Once again, your final score, Spalding 34, Loyola 20. Good night from Millersville.